And welcome back, everybody, to the Gears 5 All-Stars. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by the one and only Jacob MVPR, fresh off of casting a wonderful show match last night. And now you get to cast over your team, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. And yesterday, I never thought I would get a chance to cast Franchise, to cast Mental, Explosive, Icy, and all those great names again. And honestly, I got gifted. And now look at me. When I look down, I see my little head down there, my little face. It's like, it just gets better and better every day.
Oh, you're talking about...
Yeah, my little face. What do you mean? Right there on the scoreboard. Little face. You think it's in my lap? Yeah, I got shorts with my face on it. Hey, maybe.
I just heard. I said you saw your little head over there, but no, that's a fact. You got the green, you got the purple, and you are looking fresh to death. I was saying earlier, brother, like with the glasses, you look like you're about to shoot laser beams at me, and I don't want to mess with you today. But Jacob, forgive me, but I have to mess with you today because you're playing against my team, right? Roster versus roster. How you feeling, man? Because look at these guys. Fiercely, Dyslexic, Exploits, Toady. Now, I was trying to do research and figure out if these guys have chemistry or if they played together in the past. It was hard to find like if they were successful or not, but I think they were, and maybe you can let me know.
I mean, define success. They were successful in terms of getting second place.
Why are you gonna go there?
Second place. That's why they disbanded, though. My team is gonna be able to kind of, I think, go blow for blow against your guys at the very minimum.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Blow for blow. I like your team, I really do. And Monkey's one of the highest stat leaders. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into what makes this matchup a bit interesting from your perspective, because you were worried about communication from Monkey's side of things with the Vexies, Brawny, and Cells, but you found a way to mitigate that.
You know, I always got to make moves. I always got to make things happen. I realized the position I put these guys in because I was just thinking slaying ability when Monkeys got picked. I wasn't thinking anything other than this man, his statistics, and being able to take over games. But I went deep into the pockets. I talked to my main Monkeys and say, hey, how can we make this work with the rest of the roster? He said, you know what? I got an idea. I saw the light bulb flash above his head, and we brought in Soulface. We brought in the coach of Rebel to help translate a lot of what is going on in the game. So even though it's not going to make it easy, it's going to make it a little bit easier than it was moments before, because now he's going to be able to know when he has to push, when he has to go back, when they want to go into setup. But there is going to be those issues, you know as well as I do, with those split-second decisions. But I know that I'm going to believe Monkeys has what it takes to kind of feel when those moments are there and knows exactly what to do.
Did you have a chance to talk to your roster before tonight?
A couple DMs back and forth with the Vexies, Cells, not too much with Brawny. A couple here and there with Monkeys. He's the one who let me know that they got a coach, they're ready to go and ready to kind of show that, hey, they may not be the most squad that you would think could win something like this, but they're definitely ready to prove what they got on an individual scale.
Well, Jacob, I think they can do it. Let's get a little bit deeper into this series and look at the bans that we're not going, or at least the maps we're not going to be seeing, and get Reactor and also get Harbor out of there. Get Tomb out of there. Why did I get 3 bans? But I'm here for it. I love it. Hey, great. So we're not going to see Spire, Reactor, Tomb, Afira, or Harbor. How do you think that makes you look for your roster?
I mean, I like our Afira ban because it does take a lot of teamwork, even though there's individual moments in that. I don't really care about the Spire ban. I did kind of talk to them saying I would like to see Regency getting played for us, but the fact that Tomb is banned out, I love it as well. I like that Harbor's banned out because even though there's a 1v1 spot down low, it's not a true 1v1 spot. So far, between my team and your team, I like the bans that's being shown.
All right, bans are shown. Let's get our maps that are going to be played, and we start off on District. I like it. I mean, we're talking about the old Noble roster that was just so successful, and I had to pick Canals. My boys, they knew exactly what they were doing. We got Exploits who's on that map. Dyslexic has been absolutely on fire playing with the United on Canals.
You're messing with me, right?
Huh?
You're giving my team a chance by picking Canals because my first round draft pick was based upon what me and Blaze were talking about, having one of the best snipers in Pro League right now. So you're just serving up a Vexies a chance to really take over the game. And then on District, it really depends on how my team gets out of the gate. Reflections, I'm actually getting a little confident.
No, you better shut that down. Hey, you better shut it. You better shut that down right now.
Your team is not winning map 5.
You what?
Your team is not winning map 5. You're not.
The Noble roster's not winning map 5. Check out execution. Now, I will say this. When they were Noble, or when they were not Fire and Ice, but when they transitioned to Noble, they honestly weren't the best checkout team. I'm going to be very real with you on that. So if we do go to map 5, maybe I have some worries. But I think with all 5 of these, or all 5, where am I going? I'm on literally seasons ago.
I'm the guy.
All four of my guys, Jacob, they are just excited to play with each other. They call themselves the Latam gods. And honestly, you can't even argue with this. All 4 of my guys have gotten better since they joined other rosters.
I will say that is
individually
100% true. And you do got that on your side. Your players are excited to play with each other. I can't necessarily say the same against the entirety of my roster, but that means they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, because guess what? If they come out, they beat Team Reflections, they go into the finals, they go ahead and take it overall, imagine what that's going to do on an individual scale to each and every one of these players going into that major.
All right, I like it. We're starting off on district. Yeah, I guess you can't, but you can, and I think you will, PR. Here's the breakout attempt. I'm so excited to watch Noble play again. You have no idea, and, well, that's going to be that's a really rough start. No, that's not what we need, boys.
Buena! I'll go ahead and translate that one right there. Monkey's in a quick 1v1. He's going to get the drop shot, and this is where I talk about his intuition. He doesn't have to communicate with the rest of the team. He knows, shoot it out first. Stop their push before it comes. He knows one player's there. Even though him and Cells can't necessarily communicate, it's the coach and Avex. He's saying, set up. Let's play the long game. Let's force them into another mistake.
I'm about to cry. All right, we're okay, though. Blaze was talking about how he was sweating and it was hitting different. It does hit different when you're watching your roster that you hand-selected to play, and we don't have any points. That's all right, because Dyslexic, you're by yourself. Why are you... Well, it's okay. I mean, it's really not. What the hell is going on?
What's going on right now is Avexis is saying, here, go here, monkeys, do whatever you want on that side of the map. He's the one who's even bleeding it dry. They're being the exact role players we know they can be, but Cell's going down thanks to Fiercely. That is going to be the stand that I'm a little bit worried about on this next hill.
Bro, okay, let's get some points, boys, because legit, I've got tears starting to swell up in my eyes, and I don't like it because I'm not an emotional guy, but I can get emotional very quick. That's what I'm talking about. We're in control. We've got 2 points. Jacob, you need to start getting nervous.
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, like I said. That stand towards the side where Fiercely was able to get that elimination, that's where it makes it hard, because now, guess what? My team's on the offensive end. They don't necessarily have all the teamwork in the world, but Monkey's playing towards the top side. He's trying to draw the numbers there, knowing he is by himself, and that was the distraction. Avexis goes in, lands the good shot, tries to bait Fiercely in even more. The damage is there. Great shot by Fiercely, but it's not going to be enough by the captain, the #1 draft pick for Team PR.
Oh my god, Avexis is looking so... Oh my lord, there you go. Shut him down. Show him that he is just a human after all. He may be your #1 pick, but exploits, you were like my #3 pick, okay? And you're going to represent that very well. Not that that's anything to hang your hat on, but Team PR, you're off to, I mean, a great start, and it needs to stop. Like, tell your boys to back down, bro.
I'm gonna try and give you a little bit of a chance, and that's it right now. Monkey's going down. That's the chance I'm gonna give you. But Bronny said, no way, no how, no chances for Reflections, no shot is what you got, and that's why Dyslexic is gonna go down as well. Bronny trying to take over the game. Like I said, these guys working in tandem. I thought it was gonna be the core 3, but look at even Monkeys and Bronny working well together. There's something about being a slaying powerhouse that has so many unspoken words and things that don't need to be said.
All right, well, my whole team can talk to each other, but what's going on with the individuality? I mean, Cells takes down Exploits, Toadie's trying to pop off in the moment, and Big Mono staying up, but not for long, and there we go! Boys, you love to see it, Cells! Chill out. Chill out.
Oh, if he would have got that and the revive, that would have been nice. That would have been pretty, but like you said moments ago and commentating with Blaze, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's it, dude. That's it. And I've thrown hand grenades and horseshoes, and I tell you what, I still don't get the statement. 50 to 96, and you know, honestly, I think some things just exist, and we just accept it for what it is, and we really just don't question it. But sometimes I think we need to question things, like your lead.
I think it's the point system for horseshoes, but I don't understand the hand grenades one, because either you get blown up or you don't. Almost blown up.
Bro, that is, well, I guess it almost doesn't, well, I don't know, I don't get that, and you bring up a great point, but it's pretty funny, I can't even lie. Good battle into Current Hill, Cells is dead, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, okay? It's 77 to 97. I think what it was is my boys, it's just been a little bit since they played together. They probably didn't scrim, but they got the vibes. They've got the composure. They've been here before, and, well, maybe not in the Gears 5 All-Stars, but you know what I mean. Like, they're going to be all right, PR. They're going to be all right.
Now, I'll give you that. It does kind of look like the dust is kind of settling from the excitement of that initial. Bonnie's going to go down first, but the quick revive. Toady goes back-to-back with Bronny and Cells going down, but it's the revives that are really making the difference. The wolf pack from the aggressive players of Team PR that is allowing for the revives to come through, but drop shot's going to be picked up. Fiercely gets one, but we don't let them use it. That's why I picked this team. Once they get on that death ball roll, it's going to be hard to stop them, but I go and give your team that much credit because they already stopped them once this game.
They definitely have. Team PR, you're taking the lead. You got control of the bandstand hill. Vexy's full red. He's going to drop. Great cross from, I believe, player 2. So that was going to be Toady on the opposite side. The IGL for this roster. Good teamwork from Dyslexic in conjunction with, I believe, on the other side of Exploits. That's what I'm talking about, boys. We win those. 30 seconds remain, and we're showing the scoreboard because Toady, the most damage done. And you know what? That's going to be consistent through the entirety of this series.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that the tip of the spear, the Lancer, he's putting himself deep in the spawn to where a lot of that damage for the Lancer is coming through, but he spots out multiple players, probably giving the call. Cells is going to be the tip of the spear for my team. Revives is in. Not enough damage. 2 eliminations. Dyslexic and Toady fall, but fiercely, the pressure is there. Monkeys knows exactly how to play it. Back up. Give it space. Bronny is there to help and save the day. The team is looking good from one hill to the next.
PR, your team is, like, no BS, looking really good, dude. Like, I did not expect this at all. I really did. You know, it's interesting. Obviously, when it was put together, there was a lot of laughs and stuff and maybe some turmoil and stuff like that. But at one point, Vexy's in that same day said, you know what? I'm going to try my best. Like, I'm going to come out. I'm going to figure out a way to win. And we know Vexy's clearly does that. He did that with Rise. He stayed with them through thick and thin, and they got a championship. And he's done it again. I mean, he's making your team look phenomenal.
The Monkeys goes in, gets out, but Bronny didn't get the memo. It wasn't to get aggressive and clean them all up. It was just to get what you can and get out. Monkeys trying to get Brownie back on the respawn quicker than ever. Shock grenade going out. Doesn't go deep enough. Monkeys is going to have a little crevice to try to stay alive. And Vexy's trying to lend the helping hand, but that's not going to be enough. The death ball of Team Reflections comes storming through, and that got me worried as can be.
Ooh, and from what I'm hearing from chat, they're all rocking the same skins as well. And I think it was the Fire and Ice skins, if I'm not mistaken. Back when this roster was scary, obviously, when they were noble, they were just as scary too. But I'm liking it. And, you know, this roster didn't want to break up. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but, like, this roster really means a lot to, like, each individual. These guys loved competing with each other, and it just feels so good, again, to watch them compete. Because I can't lie, and I said it back then, I'll say it now. They were legit my favorite roster to watch compete.
I mean, they were pretty exciting. Dyslexic became one of my favorite players. I knew he was going to be a player to kind of make an impact, especially if he had the right crew to learn around. But Exploits trying to make control of the middle. They lost a player. The man advantage going on over to my team. And Vexy's keeping that one rolling. Everybody forced to rotate. My team's just a little bit quicker. They just have to be able to hold on to the advantage. And Vexy's, you got to get out of there, brother.
Well, he's trying, but he can't get away. It was a 1v2. Tough spot to be in. Now, Bronny is scary from the low end with the drop shots, and this needs to be read correctly. Dyslexic, he's pushing hard. I like that. Bronny is going to save and maintain his life. I say that, but he takes quite a bit of damage, but that was the best play, and I think I just saw the drop shot go to the wayside. Yeah, it did.
Yep, especially with a shock grenade in there. I love the attempt to try to keep that drop shot intact, but it's the execution that has me worried. But now your team has the lead as well. Double worried for me. But with 37 seconds on the next drop shot, big elimination, as at least we got Fiercely down, but our team needs to be able to stabilize here. They can't get too antsy, and that's my only worry for this roster, getting too antsy and getting too desperate in these situations.
All right, about to break 200. His team, Reflections, looking good, liking it. Dyslexic, rocking that corner. Just going to continue to get down after down after down, and the rest of the cavalry is going to be moving in shortly. Dyslexic will fall. Cells miraculously gets the finish, and even better, he's going to get yet another down, and your boy is of Cells and Bronny. I mean, put up a hell of a fight despite being... What? Was that some teabagging?
No. He's just making sure he gets the squats in. He knows there's a lot more work to be done here. We got to get the lead back. My team doesn't show...
Why is your team teabagging my boys?
No, that's not what it was, bro. They're going to wait until it's over. They're going to let their actions do the talking. Like I said, extra squads. He missed leg day. Now he's trying to make up for it.
Lying to yourself. You know you're lying to yourself, man. That was teabagging, and I'm calling
that bad juju out of here. Get that bad.
I'm calling a red card, bro.
Nope.
You don't do that to the legendary Noble team, bro.
Cat's gonna be judges. Was he teabagging or was he getting leg day in?
Chat, what do you think? I think it was teabagging, but Jacob says leg day. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys decide. You guys decide. We're back to P1 Jacob and Cells leading the charge. Nice spacing, but ultimately the 1v2 is going to happen. He's going to get taken down. Nice shot from Fiercely. I think this is where Team Reflection starts to really take the game by storm.
I gotta be careful here. Cells quickly back off for the respawn. Fiercely saw
nice
that
shock.
One. Shock grenade to create separation. That was a beautiful shock to keep Fiercely alive, especially now knowing that Bronny got eliminated on the other side. Team PR, you boys, you gotta start stepping it up, and it comes through right here. The fresh respawn, the fresh utility. This is their chance to break through.
See if they can do so. P1 has been looking good now that we've gone for the full rotation back at the start. Bronny, he's going to make a push eventually. Matter of fact, there's 3 members from Team PR ready to go forward. And I love the team fire from Team Reflections and even the snub fire dropping them. Exploits feeling confident. Oh my God, Team PR gets wiped off the map.
30 seconds left. Tough decision right here, especially off of the respawn. I want to see my boys play for next, play for weapons, play for position, but with your team beating me there, we got to at least get that shock, take that elimination at the top side of the map on exploits, and then go from there. That's what I want to see us do. Monkeys is up top, though.
Monkeys is up top. And Exploits looking for his exit. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away cleanly anyways. I love that Dyslexic has pushed up. That's going to be it's going to make it harder for any member from Team PR to push through him. What are you seeing, Jacob? Oh,
that quick elimination there, but good trade. Exploits, but the flank is coming in. I hope Monkeys and the coach called that one out. That's vital information that needs to be shared, because look at Exploits now, threatening in towards the middle, but Cells heard him loud and clear. That's going to be a big stop for the boys in control over the hill as they got down 100. Now it's time to take our axes and chop down that lead, but this is a defining moment and a good shutdown from Toady, but Cells is going to be a huge factor in keeping the boys alive.
All right, I think you might be able to make a decent comeback at this moment. That is an important retake. Still, though, you're teetering on the edge of, being uncomfortable. But, I mean, hey, you got to continue to try. Cells, beautiful shots. You picked him because of his playmaking abilities, and he's definitely exemplified that without question. We're from the top side. Pushing in strong is going to be Dyslexic alongside that of Toady. Exploits, though, is being flanked. Monkeys has a beautiful angle.
Yeah, beautiful target selection. That guy in front of you on Exploits, you just got to keep him at bay. Your bang damage should go onto the backside, but a big flank coming out from Fiercely. That's going to turn the tides and put some pressure onto the boys, but they can sit comfortably on that cover. You guys still got to make a push.
Well, chat decided it was leg day, so I guess it was leg day earlier. I take the statement back, and I apologize for accusing your team for teabagging my roster. 264 to 182, and we are rotating. Honestly, I would like to see Team Reflections get a bit greedy and take those extra 20 points.
Actually, yeah, get a little greedy. Get a little greedy.
You want to because you wanted to make a mistake, huh?
That's not the smart play, but yeah, that actually, go ahead. Have that one happen. Late rotation coming in from Bronny, but he's just watching the middle. He knows Dyslexic is up there. Information is going to be passed around from everybody, including Toady having that shock. So it's going to be very, very important for Vexies to get that information. The spot is in. They know exactly where Toady is and where he's rotating that shock grenade to.
Here we go. Vexies holding it down, man. Trying to, anyways. He's taking a little bit of damage. Bronny, though, is there for the extra comfort. For what that is, anyways.
Check
shock. It will dissipate. Monkeys, he's pushing. Monkeys needs to back away. He can't back away in time, Jacob. You're going to lose him. And now you got 3 members left. And Team Noble is pushing up hard.
Yeah, but Bronny baits out Dyslexic to make the bad move, and he rotates back to be that helping hand. Is it going to be enough? Because Dyslexic trying to throw in the fray. Cells gets one elimination. Downs left and right. Revive is in. Toady is the only player there. And this is a big moment because this is a chance to at least bring us to around 230. But the wide spawn's going all around. This is where it's going to be an important decision from Bronny and what he does next.
Oh, man. You might have just taken a too big of a chunk of I don't know, possibility at this point, bro, because you guys are starting to look good again. You had a little bit of a lull period. Team Reflections was definitely taking a hit, but now all of a sudden you're looking pretty good. And All of a sudden, just like that, 32 seconds might be up for grabs, and Team Reflections can just get Brawny out. You said he was going to be a playmaker and a guy to really dictate how this was going to end up going. He ends up falling, but he wastes a lot of time. Team Reflections get the hill, but for what? We got to rotate.
Everybody has to rotate. We're going to let you guys go ahead and try to bleed that one dry, hoping that we can gain control. You see the wide spread at the bottom of the map. Neither one of these weapons but the shock grenade is up, and the only person there right now is going to be Brawny, but he's trying to figure out where is the perfect position to give himself. And you say, you know what, Jay? You're the leader. You're the IGL. You grab that shock and you make that big decision of where it needs to be placed. We'll give you the information, but if Xyz, he gets aggressive. Shock grenade out of play. Monkeys gets the down on the exploits, and this is where it's going to be crucial because now respawns are in. Everybody's going to be scattered. A flank coming in from Dyslexic. No, Cells. The information's being called out, but the sandwich opportunity. Reflection, this is getting too close to call.
It's getting very close indeed, brother. I'm just 20 points away from victory, but Team PR refuses to back down, refuses to give in, and, well, we have the hill for now, but you better believe Team PR is about the challenge, and we need to be ready for that. Now, we're about to be 10 points away from victory. Avexis from the top side to the left is going to be 5 and 8 of Brawny and Mono. They push through. They get some real estate in the current hill. Toady, though, hiding in the wings. He's not going to be stunned. Still has a bit of a power move. If he can make it happen, that's going to be one. Toady going for a second. He won't get it. And against all odds, you guys make it happen. But hey, we're back in the fight.
Oh, I thought Exploit's gonna be able to clutch up right there. Melee, not enough damage. Monkeys trying to be the hero. He knows one's at least down. It's gonna come through, but the decap, that's the capture as well. They're contesting it right away, and Brawny goes down. Those Cells has a lot of pressure. Avexis soon on the way. No revive's gonna be allowed as Avexis caught in no man's land. He has the only player behind him down, but a flash grenade. They're trying to make the captain a target, and Avexis gets dropped. 5 seconds to go. Make it 4, but the contestation is in. Monkey's doing what he can. Enough damage on the 2 different players, but where's the help? It's not Brawny time. Brawny gets the contest in. Reflections, this one could be over. Brawny does go down, and your team will take map number 1.
Wow, but brother, like, no BS, not even being polite. We take map 1, but Jacob, your team just surprised me and was surprising a ton of people in chat. That was a hell of a fight, my guy.
No, I told you, these guys, man, when it comes to aggression, they're going to be able to keep it going. But when your team is finally able to set up and stop, that's where my team runs into those problems. They ran into that speed bump a couple times, and that's where your team, honestly, was able to get a good chunk of time. If they were able to keep it in a scrappy nature, I definitely believe we would have took that map.
That's ridiculous, bro. Like, you guys were scaring me. Like, off the rip, when I'm like pumping them up, and then all of a sudden I see a 4-man wipe, I'm like, oh Lord. Like, I'm telling you, bro, I legit was about to start crying. It hurt, but hey, they got the job done in the end. Toady has been so valuable, right? Thursday, 1v3ing E United at least 2 times on Canals. All right, we're pushing into Canals in just a second. But 28,000 damage on map 1, 22 and 10 with 21 assists. I mean, that's powers type numbers. Toady wants to win, whether it's with Fury 1 or whether it's with this roster tonight, brother. He is hungry for victory.
Yeah, he definitely is. And I'm just saying, like, the only concern that I'm really having that showed here in map number 1 is my team is trying to work as that core 3 of Xyz, Brawny, and Cells, and letting Monkeys play that 1v1 spot over and over again. But when you and your team knows that's going to happen, you guys can kind of prepare for that a little bit more. And then it forces us to take the time in order to put Monkeys in that position if that's what we want. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of without communication, because even though we do have our translator coming in, those are those split-second decisions I was talking about before map number 1 started.
All right, so hey, but still though, going into Execution Canals, you got a lot of firepower. And you mentioned Avexis, right? The self-proclaimed best sniper on Canals. And I honestly can't deny that. Like, Avexis is nasty, but I've got Toady and I've got Exploits. And I'm pretty sure Exploits is going to pick up the sniper. But if Toady gets it after seeing him 1v3 E United, honestly, single-handedly putting Fury 1 into victory lane over E United on E-Days and semifinals, like, this could be a lot scarier than you're even thinking.
No, it's definitely going to be scary, because you got to imagine, right? Just think back when I actually played in that E-Days and I had Franchise, the Rusty Franchise on my team before he was on his shaking off that arthritis. He was literally carrying us through Canals with his headshots, with his sniper play. But now you go ahead and say, instead of Franchise being able to carry Funky Bunch, it's Avexis has a chance to carry these other professional players. So even though I'm kind of wondering, do you put Monkeys up top, but if that top player flanks, the communication might be a little late. Do you put monkeys down low, working with another duo? That's going to be my only worry. But my confidence in Avexis and being able to take over the game is at an all-time high, especially after seeing that map number 1.
Oh, man, and chat's starting to side with you. I don't like that. I went from chat's favorite to now all of a sudden they're like, man, Team Jacob actually looks good, and Team Jacob likely takes map 2. That's what Rusty Nailgun is saying. Guys, we're talking about Team Noble. We're talking about Exploits and Toady. Like, Team Reflections, like, come on. How can you be believing in that guy?
There's a reason they themselves decided to split up Reflections. They decided. This is no trash talk. There's a reason why they decided it. They realized there was something missing within the team. It's not me to say what it was. I'm definitely going to go ahead and let them kind of keep that one going. But there was just something missing, and my team is finding some exposure, some weak links within that armor. I can't even say what it is, but I do know it comes in the form of aggression. When my team is kind of has that death ball rolling, going down, creating that avalanche, that's where they're going to excel best. But when I have those slow moments, that's where I think your team can kind of pick it up and kind of make up for it.
Do you first off, where's Monkey's going to play? I want to know that.
That's where I'm confused. He's either playing front spawn down low or up top. But that's
front
what I'm
spawn
saying.
would be good because then he can create his own openings.
And it just, to me, it's like they have to take a page out of the Insane's playbook, and they don't have time. They didn't scrim or anything like that. But in terms of making it simplified for monkeys, when Insanes would do in certain situations, they would color code it like red, yellow, or green, depending on what they see. So that way they don't have to communicate what anybody has to do. Everybody knows what to do in those situations. So I'm hoping maybe they can color code it for monkeys, say, hey, green, that means he can go ahead and push up, take his 1v1. Yellow, that means, hey, maybe we're going ahead and playing down low or something like that, where monkeys can make it easy as well to communicate. Because like I said, even though we do have that coach that is playing along, that is translating as much as he can, there's a lot that goes down in those split seconds to where the coach, he may take the time to translate it, but everything could completely change by the time he gets those last words out.
That's fair. I mean, it absolutely could. Monkeys is going to be a big factor. Vex obviously is going to be great. Bronny, we know he can slay out, and so is Cells. But Bronny and Cells, we talk about Monkeys maybe playing the front spawn, going for mid-bridge first. But then again, you got Bronny and Cells who could do that just as well, Jacob.
I got all front spawn certified
you really
players.
Do.
We know Vexi's going to pick up the sniper, but even if he wanted to pass that one around, sharing is caring, he can definitely take the front spawn. But we know we got a Vexi sniping. My team was actually built around a Vexi sniping. But like I said, it just depends on where Monkeys is playing, how that communication is going to play a role, and then what they do if they get first blood or if they get first blooded, because that's when you have to make those split-second decisions the most.
I'm just curious, from my perspective, will Toady take the sniper exploits? I'm fairly certain, especially with this being like the old Noble Fire and Ice roster, like it has to be exploits because they're just going to fit. They're going to go into the same roles that they had before. But Toady did make me excited with the Fury 1 win. Like that was absolutely.
Fiercely's playing up top. You have Toady's got some play secondary. You have Dyslexic playing front spawn. And Exploit's going to grab the sniper. I don't know or maybe for certain. Fiercely. That's just kind of where I'm like thinking. Front spawn, the only one that's interchangeable is Dyslexic and Fiercely, with playing front spawn low and then up top in that 1v1.
I think Fiercely might play around with the Torque Bow a little bit more than your roster is going to be doing so. I do think I think my roster is a little bit more comfortable playing for Torque and trying to get out instead of just going for the bridge fight. I think so. But I mean, then again, I don't know. And it's interesting, if Dyslexic does take front spawn, that's a position he hasn't played in a long time on the E United roster. Remember, on Canals, he goes to the right. He goes up top, and he kind of hides those hallways. Maybe he does play up
top and they throw in Fiercely in the front spawn. I could see that. Let him be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and Fiercely's stats aren't bad either. I mean, that's why I picked him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's number one in the league, I mean, like, he's incredible. So Fiercely could do it. Fiercely can absolutely do it. How impactful do you think this next map is, though, for your roster?
This is definitely impactful because if we win this map, I think Vascar is going to be a huge decider. I think we have as good a chance as any as taking Ritual. It plays more into our hands than District did. Map number 5, check out. Very, very aggressive. I feel like it plays more into our hands than your team. We have 2 potential maps towards the back end. We just need to be able to scrape out one of the next 2, and I just think it needs to be here because going down 2-0, you know as well as I do, whether if it's an all-star team, pickup team, full roster, challenger team, that's just something that's hard to battle against.
It is, unless you're a Vexies, right? Rise has this tendency to always go down 0-2 and just find a way to go to map 5 and still win. So, I mean, I think the composure is still going to be there without question. I mean, 0-2 down, doesn't matter. I think your roster is still going to be solid. You know, man, I think we need to 3-0 you. I really do. Not to make a statement, not because I want to beat you down, but I mean, I really am a little bit worried about Ritual, and I am a little bit worried about map 5. Because, again, the old Noble roster, at least towards the tail end, just was not a good checkout team. They were originally when they were Fire and Ice, and they were at the beginning of Noble. But towards the tail end of their Noble run, checkout was a map that just did not work for them. I remember them losing it consistently. And also, Ritual wasn't played by Team Noble. It wasn't in a competitive rotation back then either. That's a newer map that was added after Noble had disbanded. So, no strats on that map, you know, so that teamwork, that chemistry isn't going to be as strong on Ritual. So I think 3-0 is definitely the way we need to go.
No, I definitely do think it too. And the more I think about it as well, I think it's just more defining that my team does need to win this next map, because then we go on to Vaskar, even though that is like aggression haven where a lot of players kind of pick it because it is that clockwise, counterclockwise rotation. I think there's a lot of credit that isn't given to the amount of teamwork the map does possess as well. And that is a map that your team did actually play on quite a bit, unlike, you know, as many reps that they might not have gotten on Canals before. So I think this is almost a must-win scenario for my team. And even though I do believe in you, that clutch up towards the tail end of the series is definitely possible regardless of the score. I'm just thinking of, you know, what maps are must win versus what maps can we let slip through our fingers. I think District, map number 1, we can kind of let it slip through. Map number 2, Canals, or my team is built around. I just can't let that one happen.
You literally, I mean, honestly, during the draft, the big discussion was like, my team is built for Canals. And then Blaze, of course, had to, you know, chime in and talk about his roster and so on and so forth. Well, if you're built for Canals, here you are. You have Canals right before you. Let's see if you could take it, Jacob.
Only time will tell here. And I do like what you said, though, where your team is more likely to play for Torquebo because they are a real roster. I feel like they are going to know when to kind of change up the strat. Meanwhile, my team doesn't have very many strategies, even though there is, you know, the down low water strat to try to get a kill towards the high side. You know, after experience that pickup style of play on the Funky Bunch, it's a lot easier said than done. But these guys are professional players, some of the best of the best. They might have better shot aiming their flash grenades than I did.
Well, here we go. Loading into map number 2 on Canals. And I can't wait to get this one started, baby, because you got a Vexies and you got Exploits. And it's always spectacular to watch the both of them fight it out and go against each other. But who's going to win? We're going to have to find out. And I think we lost a play. That's okay. We might pull it back. But again, I want to see Fiercely also play for Torque. I think that's a big way to get ahead of your roster. I don't see them making a play like that. And you made a great point, like just because my roster was a roster in the past, a complete team, so I could see them being more comfortable doing that. Speaking of which, when Canals was played, when Noble was a roster, dual shocks were on the map. Snipes weren't even here yet.
It was
either.
different. It was completely different.
Yeah.
And I would like to see some trickery. I don't know if my team actually practiced it. I'm almost in fact nobody practiced for this other than, you know, being an individual. But I would like to see some trickery. Maybe throw a smoke underneath bridge, have monkeys play underneath. And the reason why is because when you throw that trick strat underneath the gate, it'll put something maybe in the back of your team's head where, hey, maybe these guys are running strats. I got to watch out for the water. So maybe I can't rotate the sniper high side as quick as I might want to, and so on and so forth. But I just don't know if they have that, at least in the back of their mind. But maybe the switch, maybe if Vexies has the stream on the side, he's like, yo, Captain PR, yo, All-Star. Maybe you do have some ideas. Maybe you do have some tricks underneath your sleeve, because that's the one thing I told them. You got to realize the tools that you're working with, and you got to go ahead and go forward, one foot in front of the next.
I know he wasn't a fan of me, man, because I went into their match chat and I was like, Team Noble. And Vex is like, get out of here. Like, I don't even want you in. And Bronny, of course, hurt me a little bit because Bronny was like, man, you're done. Taylor, you're done. I'm like, man, like, just because I didn't pick you guys? Like, come on. But it was all love. You go to a LAN
and you're done already.
What? I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude.
You're done. You're done already. You didn't even go to a LAN. So when Gear 6 comes out and we start having LANs again, Bronny's gonna snub you. You're gonna be like, "Yo, what's up, Bronny?" He's gonna walk right past you.
But shit, Bronny's there, man. I hope Bronny's there. Shoot, I mean, he's young enough. He literally graduated high school.
When a new Gears game comes out, everybody comes out of the woodworks, come back thinking they're the best still, and then when the dust settles,
does it happen every time?
Every single time. Every single time. Franchise is gonna come back. He may say he won't. Franchise is gonna come back. Ribs is gonna come back. Mental is going to come back. Everybody's going to come back when the new game comes.
Well, we are also going to be coming back because we're going to take a quick break. But hey, man, I hope so. When Gear 6 does come out, I want to see all the pros come out of the woodworks, man, and come back. And if it's Ribs, if it's Friend, all the better. Maybe even Ryan picks up coaching again, right? That would be spectacular to see. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, moving into Map 2 Canals between both of our rosters.
He still got it.
I'm
Definitely
telling you,
still
dude,
got it.
that was nasty. Disgusting. Let's get into it, baby. We got map number 2, Canals Execution. And you got a Vexies, I got exploits, and we got a little bit of everything. And this is going to be a fight for sure. A Vex is about to be cracked out of his mind, and so is exploits. So this is going to be pretty deadly. And look, I don't know if it helps at all or if the coach on the opposite side is going to be helping, but he knows exploits somehow, some way, okay? Maybe he's like, hey, this is what exploits like to do on Canals, and I hope he doesn't give any insight to your roster.
Yeah, kind of knowing exactly where the sniper is going to go, knows what to watch out for, but we called it. Exploits versus Avexies. You see the quick rotation down low from Avexies, but the rotation up top, and Avexies has different things in hand. He's going to go ahead and try to get his hands dirty, but Bronny goes down. Great snipe by Exploits, but it's not going to be enough just yet, and it's Avexies just trying to check these players, not give up that free torque boy that you were alluding to.
There's Fiercely getting the torque boy, as you mentioned before, as I said was going to happen, and what a shot that is. You take down Avexies, you instantly neutralize the sniper. Also, another kill coming out from Bronny, so it's going to be a 3v3, but a lot of pressure on mid-bridge.
Ooh, splash damage. Get out of there. Oh, okay, I will say that was a good one. Minimizing Cell's options, giving him no other choice. But the torque from Fiercely, you got to cut that out.
Hey, dude, look, I told you it's going to happen, brother. I tried to give him fair warning.
You did.
And even if Vexus was trying to keep him at bay with the sniper, but it wasn't enough, and Exploits will hit a second. That is
a headshot
gorgeous.
Is that a sniper or a shotgun?
That was a sniper, bro.
Okay, I'll give him that one.
Snipper,
I'll give him that.
snipper.
But that's just because that wasn't a true like sniper versus sniper. I think Avexies shot one shot. They were trying to catch and use those tricks underneath their sleeve to try to throw something off guard in the round number 1. Now we're going to see a real sniper showdown from Avexies.
Hey, we might. It was Avexi's choice to go to bottom bridge. That was his choice, right? He made the choice and made the decision. I feel like Exploit's about to hit a nasty headshot on Avexi's. All right, that's fine. I tried to manifest it, didn't work.
Stone's going down on top. Look at Vexies is there. Vexies knows his quick road. It's not all about the sniper here on Canals, even though it is going to be a big, impactful opportunity for these guys. But the body shot's going to be hit. Fiercely getting back down. Flash grenade is there, but he's going to bypass the frags. So he cannot give it up. But Bronny, in a 1v2 situation, gets chased down low. Monkeys able to escape with that sniper. And this is where I want to see them take high side. Take as much of that real estate towards the top as possible, so that way the frags make more of an impact. And you talked about sniper versus sniper. Vexies at least goes one up.
Yeah, but the torque bow has just been so impactful. Fiercely is just getting that, and your team has to shut him down because he is just so deadly with it. And now Monkey's by himself. You don't really have to push this if you don't want to.
No.
And make Monkeys make the move, but I think they're going to finally settle down. That's the best play.
That's the sniper we just lost, and the other one's on the other side of the map. Ooh, body shots can be hit. They don't have to push up on it. That's what makes it hard for Monkeys, because he really has no other options here. Maybe he can go and try to grab the other sniper on the other side of the map. That's not really going to pop until overtime is up, so he just has to think about something here. It's almost if Toady hits the shot, his chances of winning the round are slim to none, but if Toady misses, that's where Monkeys can make the play.
Oh, he's firing. Misses. Only 2 more shots remain. Monkeys. But chill out for the time being. He's set up to pick up that new sniper. Toady knows this.
Where's the overtime? Is the overtime down low? I think it's down low. Yeah.
All to the right. Oh, Monkeys gets the snipe.
I don't like this rotation from Monkeys going and playing low side because that minimizes options, but the timing not on his side, he really has very slim to none here.
No way. No way. No, come on, Monkeys. Don't do it to my roster. Don't. What?
I just want to slam my desk right now, but I'm scared of the technology that I might destroy.
Oh my gosh.
I just actually got tight right now because that was so doable by the Monkeys. Give him an extra second.
Oh my dude. All that dodging the torque, hitting the headshot just to get out capped, bro. Jacob, I'm sorry.
I will say Fiercely taking the open part of that sandbag is what saved them that round. Because if he's on the spot where Monkeys can shoot over the top, that at least gives Monkey that 50-50 to chunk or not chunk. But the way Fiercely plays that, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit.
Like the Romeo Juliet for Gears, written by Gears guys. To chunk or not to chunk? That is the question.
Now, whose fault do you think this is?
Oh man, it's hard to tell with this group of this bunch of people.
Exactly. Wow. Okay, so it's not Cells,
probably my team. Honestly, probably my team.
Monkeys.
It's probably my
team. It's either a Vexy.
Yeah, team reflections, comms are down. Sounds about right. Yep.
Oh, come on. You guys are the complete team. That's the least you guys can do.
No, but listen.
See, look, that's how you know it's getting close. You guys are scared.
No, this is how you know we have the authentic Fire and Ice Noble roster, right? When this is happening. Scared. No, it's not scared.
Remember, this translations is coming in. You guys are scared to roll out of spawn.
This is the authentic.
I get it. You guys are scared to roll out of spawn. Look at where Cells is at. He's confident as can be no matter what happened in this round. And look at Exploit. He's just watching the corner, making sure nobody creeps up on him.
Yeah, well, it's easy to get to mid-bridge when nobody's challenging you, Jacob. That's why Cells is where he's at, okay? Mm-hmm. I do agree, though. Exploit is definitely watching. He doesn't want anybody to sneak up.
Like, nope, no free rounds right now. I just want Cells to capture the overtime hill. Come on, sneak it away.
Yo, his skin set is clean, bro.
Is that the chrome on the black steel or black steel on chrome?
You tell me.
I have my glasses on, I'll be honest. I know the picture that we're using has my glasses. I actually lost my glasses. I went to the gym, put them down, cleaned everything up. You know, you don't want to leave your sweat on the machines.
Of course.
I left and never saw my glasses again.
Really? Someone stole your glasses?
Somebody stole my glasses. Can you believe it?
Like, I mean, times are hard, but like...
But it was a collab. They were like half Gucci, half Versace, right down the middle.
Oh, so you really like goofed.
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
They weren't really Gucci.
A collab, half Versace, half Gucci, really?
No, I made you look, though.
You did, bro. I was like, that's cool. Like, I figured they wouldn't collab, but maybe, you know, I mean, hey, I'd buy them. Shoot. Buy them, wear them with my Gucci
But I did
belt.
lose my glasses in the gym. Like, that's why I don't go to the gym anymore.
I'm sorry.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason you don't go to the gym?
Literally the only reason why I don't go anymore. Lost my glass. I can't see the machine. I can't see the weight because I don't want to, you know, overstack it and get too buff. Then I can't walk right.
You know how, glass bottles? You just cut the end off. Why don't you just use those?
Glass bottle? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks, bro.
Yeah, you put them up to your eyes.
Wasn't that bad. That's why I'm able to function without them.
Clearly not, because you're not going to the gym because you lost your glasses.
But it's because I don't want to lose anything else. But the round is live. Fiercely running out of spawn.
Games.
And this is where I want to see exploits. I want to give your team credit and a chance to shine because we've seen a couple rounds already with the Vexies and what he does with the sniper.
All right, sniper in hand. Ooh, I think we will see finally. Oh, no, you got to be careful, dude. The Vexies, yeah, see, I was a bit worried, but Cells hits the first shot. Fiercely's dead. First blood going to your team.
Should have stayed in spawn. Honestly, should have stayed in spawn. I told you guys were scared to run against Cells. Now he's taking over middle bridge. He's sitting tall, sitting proud, ready to run. But Ronnie even grabbing the sniper, showing exploits absolutely no respect, begging him to hit the shot. Please,
can't respect the opponent.
Shot, please.
Can't respect the opponent. You got to dominate the opponent.
Yeah,
you think your team is the one that needs to make a move?
Yeah, look at this full roster right now, trying to use their strategy and their time spent together to think of something.
Watch Cells' head get popped up right here. Keep talking.
Coming out. Cells does need to be careful. I'll give you that one. He needs to be careful because he's the pushable one.
Oh, you got to watch your left. Watch your left. Oh, we're getting jumbled up, boys. We're getting jumbled up. Vex is on the hunt. We've already lost Dyslexic now. Oh, it's not looking good.
Okay,
my man is pinned.
At least he got
my man is pinned. My man is pinned up.
Oh, worried though. I'll still say that he got me worried. Oh my god! Especially after what Mental did yesterday, I believe anybody can kind of hit shots like that, especially when they're among the elite of the snipers. But that's a big round for us because right after that stalemate, you guys were kind of cooled off. Even though it was your fault, your team's fault, got cooled off, and now the momentum is swinging back on our side.
Momentum. So Jacob's got the momentum. Let's see if he keeps it. I didn't like that round from my points, and I didn't like Cells getting first blood either. But you know what? To each their own. It is what it is, man. Everybody on this roster is a playmaker without question. He's gonna do it. Oh, he feels it. Oh, don't do it, exploits. Oh, thank goodness.
We're pushing up, trying to get Dyslexic out. He's gonna get chopped down. Exploits trying to clean up on that damage, but guess what? We sent him back to the Shadow Realm all the same. Even if Vexies to try to get that angle and Toady by himself, the body shot's gonna be hit, and that's easy damage for Cells to clean up on.
Yeah, Cells 2 rounds in a row have absolutely derailed my boys of Team Reflection. So let's get it back together. You know, we're missing a couple of shots we need to be hitting. Cells needs to be put in check, and fiercely, I would like to see him go for the torque again.
I will say one thing about both of our teams right now, Vexies, Exploits. We need to see more headshots out of both of you. This is the All-Star game, brothers. Right? Come on. Let's see some heads pop. Less
I think we've only seen what, like one snipe? Like one snipe at this point. Fiercely's had more shots with the torque than anything else. Fiercely up. He's not going to be stunned. Cells still gets first blood. Toady. Oh. Yes, Toady. That's what I'm talking about. Now Vexy's last alive 1v3.
This is why I want to see those sniper headshots, but he knows he still needs to play aggressive because this is the only 1v1 he's really going
There's a sniper headshot you wanted.
If that, yep. At least Exploit's going to be able to hit one because he needed to get that one quick because going against the sniper and Exploits and then the newly picked up frag grenades, it would have got exponentially harder. And that's why you've seen him try to put away the sniper and push up with the shotgun as fast as he did.
All right, so 3-2, still tight score line, Jacob. A chance to come back, especially if Cells keeps getting first blood. He's up to 3. Thank goodness Toady on that last round, despite Cells getting first blood, he was able to answer back and get 2 players down. And we'll see the same breakout. Nothing special, nothing strange. Oh, that lamp. That lamp he wanted to shoot. Oh.
Quick revive. That was a big revive there. Body shot down him first. Toady still sneaks away with something. Boys, you got to know that is going to be plan B if you don't give him the middle bridge. Come on, tighten up.
Oh, Dyslexic playing with fire. I don't like him that he's here, but also he can't get away. He's getting pincered. That'll be a 4v2. Cells hugging the corner. He's getting flanked though. Toady might get picked back. Oh my goodness, Cells. Oh my goodness, he's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, that wasn't a teabag either. He was slipping. Nope. Those stairs that had blood all over. He was slipping, trying to catch balance before. No, the other one was leg day. This one he was slipping on all that blood that he just caused. Because you got a 1v2.
I get it, dude.
There was a lot of blood on the ground from Cells. Look at 9, 4, and 0. There was a lot of blood anywhere he turns. That wasn't a teabag.
You know,
I'm not gonna put that curse on him.
It's all about perception, okay? It's all about perception. And from my perception, which is reality, your man was showing some extra love to my guy.
Your perception doesn't matter.
It might not, but to me, this is the multiverse. Okay, well, in this multiverse, hopefully your team doesn't win. Cells is about to destroy my roster with the 2-piece. One, and oh, that is so good. Oh, but that's not. Avexi's, chill out. It's not that serious, bro. It's really not that serious, Avexi's.
Oh, please, one more pellet. One more pellet! Yes, we got it. But that's going to be a hard elimination to pick up. Especially with Exploit. He's saying, test me. Test me, boys. Come on, get it, though. Come on, there we go. I was about to say, you're worrying me a little bit.
Exploits, hit the shot. That's what I'm paying you for. That's what I'm paying you for, Exploits. Let's go, baby. Let's freaking go.
I gotta give him credit for that one. I gotta give him credit for that one. But look at Avexi's go. That's why he's the El Capitan. That's why he's the leader of Team PR.
I almost 1v3'd my roster.
Oh, if he would have just not canceled that second bounce, he would have gotten the cubby.
My heart. I'm really feeling sympathy with Blaze now, brother, because I was giving him a hard time because I really didn't have risk because I was casting over Colin's team, but it really is stressful watching your team play the other, man, because you want the best of them, and some of these moments are, he gets the body, it's not enough, Jacob, I know it hurts.
He just feels a lot of pressure right now. He just has to kind of relax. Tranquilo, paciencia. Right now from Avexi's, and he's going to be able to kind of get heated up. This is just the first time on Canals. He's picking up the sniper. He's trying to think outside of the box, trying to bring monkeys into the rotation and work well with the roster, but now they have the full spread on the middle bridge, and once again, your team is just a little scared to push up, but I can see why going up against Bronny and his Cells on the middle bridge. They got to think of plan B there. Trying to get us to peek up.
Yeah. Vex is angry, and I don't blame him. I can't believe it's still a 4v4. Toady is on an absolute flank. He's been spotted. Avexi's, he's got it.
Who has to rotate back? That's Monkeys. Monkeys has to rotate back, and that's why you're seeing some delay. Delays right there. 1v2 situation. Avexi's has a chance. He at least brings one down with him and puts away the sniper, not wanting to give up any freebies.
3v3, exploits full red, stays alive, Cells continues to push. Snipe is going to at least slow his roll. Bronny, 1v2. Matter of fact, it's going to be a 2v2. This fight is everything, and we get a little bit of both, of the best of both worlds. A trade. Toady will take down Mono, and Cells last alive.
Flash grenade. I like the flash grenade coming at you guys. The bait and switch.
Why are we pushing this?
Because I really don't know, to be honest. All jokes aside.
Just chill. Oh, it's up top.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Oh, he's got Torque too. We have Torque, we have Snipe.
Yeah,
we have the man advantage. Cells is still alive. There's still a chance. Oh my gosh. And luckily we get it. We're 1 round away from 2-0.
I'm just looking at Avexi's right now. I'm putting unfair pressure on him, but I think the team and himself even has put unfair pressure on himself. He hasn't had a comfortable round with the sniper, and you can see it right out of the gates, going down low, going up top. He's really trying to do too much. Meanwhile, Exploits and your real roster, second place Fire Nice Noble roster that you hand selected, they're feeling a little bit more comfortable because they have that chemistry to fall back on.
Chemistry! I felt it, but hey, these guys got it, and they're passing with flying colors. 5-3. Vexies. Oh, I felt that. I knew it. He lined it up a little bit too long, and I was like, I think he's going to hit it. Fiercely can't get the torque book because he's dead. Dyslexic also gone, and Jacob, it's a 3v2. Oh. Why is it a 3v2? Exploits hit a nice shot.
Yep, that was a nice shot on the monkeys there. The Vexies keeping that sniper alive. Knows Toady's in the corner. Toady trying to be proactive, but just a little too soon. And I don't want to be confident and say he's heating up, but back-to-back headshots in this round is at least giving me a little confidence.
I mean, Jacob, I got all the confidence in the world for you, baby. I really do. And look, your roster is a serious contender. Like, I mean that to the fullest extent. A serious contender. Furious for escalation, but we're not an escalation, we're an execution. You need one of the next 2 maps, and well, this one you still might be able to get. We're not out of the woods just yet. Cells push it. Fiercely's going for bridge. Cells is now challenging Fiercely. I think this it's a duel. No sniper pickup?
Yeah, no sniper pickup from Avexi's. They're trying to kind of throw something off guard, but he didn't like what they see, and because the way you could pick up the sniper, that allows them to backtrack for it. And your team didn't make any active moves because we made sure to get middle bridge control. Torque pickup Vexi's has to be careful the way he plays his cards right now. This is the moment your team has to try to go for the sniper pickup. As soon as the Vexi's get in the water, that opportunity's gone.
Yeah, they can go for the torque bow. Avexi's is ready though. I don't think it's a smart push, Jacob. I think Avexi's is too ready. Oh, we're gonna find out though.
Or they're going to
crossed. No, he's going. No, you guys. He missed a shot.
Wasn't watching.
Oh yeah.
Big kill by Cells, big damage by Bronny. Back to back from Cells, a down from Avexi's, and look at the lone wolf all on the middle bridge that can't hit headshots while we're getting aggressive on the bridge.
Like, Cells at this point is public enemy #1 for Team Reflections, bro. Like, Cells is just undeniably pulling up, bro.
I like
what is
that.
It, 13-6? Come on, Cells. Give me a break.
Avexi's took that round by the reins by calling that 4 down low. He said we need to get middle bridge control, and he was slow to backtrack, making sure that they couldn't roll into water and get the torque bow either.
All right. Things are tense. Round 11. My team, they were up. They had the round by, like you said, the bull by the horns, bro. Cells takes a lot of damage. You gotta knock him. Oh no, he's on mid bridge. He's been so hard to get off of this spot.
Watching the water, Vexi's making the rotation. I don't know how many people might have saw that one coming, but the shots and the position is going to be given up. Vexi gets first blood on Dyslexic. Must-win map, like I said, and we get first blood. Just don't throw it away, boys.
Oh, please throw it away. Go, Toady, Toady. No. That's
how we do it, Team PR. 3 straight rounds in a row to come back, to stop the momentum and get things heated up. And El Capitan himself could go ahead and throw in a couple more reps, getting really heated up towards the tail end of that match. That's exactly what you want to see. If you're a fan of Avexi's and you're a fan of Team PRs, we tied the series up 1-1. What tricks will we have up our sleeves? Stay tuned to find out after this quick commercial break.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Gears 5 All-Stars. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Jacob MVPR, who miraculously takes Canals. You built your team for it, and it paid off.
Yep, definitely did pay off. It might have taken a Vexy's a little bit to heat up, but that just goes to show what the team is actually working with. The Vexy's is thinking far beyond Canals because he knows you can't win a series in 2, even if we did win map number 1. He's thinking about the tail end of the series. He's thinking about Vaskar. He's thinking about Ritual, and he's thinking about Checkout.
All right, well, you got your 1-2, and I got to say, I'm impressed. I really am. 3-0 in this situation, I thought was possible. Unfortunately, we let one slip through our fingers. No worries. We're going to be just fine. We'll win the next 2. Moving into Vaskar, where I do think the chemistry from Team Noble is going to be electric. They were always a wonderful Vaskar team back in the day when they did compete on Noble and Fire and Ice. And now that they're representing Team Reflections, me, myself, and I, baby, I think they're going to be just fine. And you guys have Monkeys, though, who's going to be in the 1v spot. And, I mean, he's going to put up a hell of an effort.
And that's the thing, too. Like I said, minimizing the call-outs within the team. I know my guys don't necessarily speak the most Spanish, but they understand uno, dos, tres, and cuatro. That's all they really need to understand on the other side of the map, because guess what? Monkeys calls out uno, they know it's a 3v3. Monkeys calls out dos, they know they need to make a move because they have the advantage on that side of the map. And that's where they need to really tone in on that communication in the beginning, because the coach can kind of call out the rest once the dust settles after the initial, once they start setting up and going and having it go and reset round by round by round. The coach can kind of have that covered. So after the initial, I feel like our guys are giving me a lot of confidence here on Vaskar, but I will say this is going to be a defining moment. Because guess what? You guys win this one, I think you guys have the potential to close it out in 4. But if you guys don't win this one, I don't think you win at all.
Wow. Just like, bro, don't make, okay. Seriously, I'm already nervous as it is. Like, genuinely, like, legit nervous. And that makes me even more nervous just thinking about... Bro, no chance I win Vaskar?
No chance if you don't win Vaskar.
Oh, really? It's just done. Dusted, over with.
Odie said the last chance. He didn't think he was talking about the first series.
Bro, I hope... Oh, you pissed me off just now, brother. It's not the last dance, and it's not over, Jacob. You need to stop that, but keep bringing it on, okay? Because I can't lie, I like it. Bring the fire, Jacob. Get confident, get high.
The only reason why I'm this confident is because these 4 boys right here, we'll throw in sulfates. You know what I mean? We're family here, all 5, 6, and
now we're a family all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're giving me confidence, right? As soon as they slow down, I might slow down, but the more they get heated up, you better put on a fire suit because I'm gonna be hitting me with that fire all day long.
Oh, okay. All right, I hear you. I see you. I don't necessarily understand you. Now, Bronny pushing up hard. 2 players in front. Good push from Team. Come on, boys. Hey, go! Jesus, no! Please don't do this to me.
Move, though, by Exploits. I don't know what you guys called out, but he kept that one going all the way around the circle. And since you guys didn't get an elimination off of spawn, there's nobody coming towards the backside unless it's these players that are already mapped, rotating, giving up some sort of position like you already see.
Oh, look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Yeah. Like a cat on the prowl, right? You got a cat. Some people got cat out there. They know. They're sneaky. And Exploit's ready to attack. You're walking by. You think you got free reign down the stairs. No, then you're getting tripped by a cat. Cat is Exploits, and vice versa. And he'll send Mono running. And a good recovery from Team Reflections.
Yeah, we're about to have 4 people over here. Flashes, smokes. These guys got to get out and kind of bide their time as Exploits full red. Luckily for them, they're going to be able to escape. I thought we were going to get down towards the tail end. So great rotation so far from Team Reflections. But as soon as one of your guys go down, because you can already see the strategy, 4-man death balls all round long from Team PR is what it's looking like.
Good downs, but it's not going to be enough. And I don't know if Exploits committing this much was worth it. He will at least get a trade, but it's still going to be a 3v2. Make that, oh no, a 3v1. And Jacob, you think Exploits should have committed and went as hard as he did to get the finishes?
No, I don't think so. You guys had a couple players stacked up. He just needed to be able to stay alive. Even if he dies in that situation, he needed to kind of prolong it and get as much damage as possible. And quick reactions from TPR right out for the respawn, taking Toady down and playing for that neutral. And that's why you see Bronny trying to back up, but that miscommunication from Monkeys, that's my only worry. Those communication moments where it's a split second, Bronny gets out, Monkeys didn't get the memo, and that's where we give up that man advantage on over to Reflections.
All right, PR coming back, and you're about to take the point lead once again. We're going to make some moves on the neutral on B, but I do have concern for Exploits and Fiercely. They've got a large task ahead of them, a 1v2. That's good. Lancer Fire. Once again, Exploits will commit this time. It will pay off. This very well could be the fight that wins the round for Team Reflex. Oh, no! And then Monkeys does that still. It's going to be a 1v1, and I stand by it. I think that fight could very well have been the fight that wins round 1 for Team Reflections.
I know my sub badge is it's me, but it's Mario, but he almost really got the out of me from Mario after that big stop coming out from Monkeys, and now he's drawing these players in, saying, come towards me, because look at that mismatch on the other side of the map. The more time that's wasted by Monkeys and Dyslexic, the better off we're going to be, but Dyslexic trying to get that decap to come in, trying to be the last saving hope, but Monkeys stops another player dead in his tracks, leaving Fiercely in no man's land, but we still need to get on the hill.
Bruh, no. Get on the hill. Oh, yeah. See?
No, we don't. Look at the win condition. I tricked you.
Wait.
Haha.
Oh, my. What? No. Hey. Oh, the game's the. Oh, my. Come on. Decap on it. Oh, no. How?
I tricked you so hard, your players.
How the hell?
You gotta be quicker than that. I dangled that dollar in front of you in your insurance premium.
Or the bag of corn nuts. I don't know if you've seen that one too.
No, but I do miss corn nuts. I used to eat them a lot as a young man.
Me too, right? The ranch are my favorite for sure.
I wouldn't say ranch, but I'll give you that.
I'm
not a ranch guy. You should know that by now.
I know. That's what I'm saying, but
anything spicy,
I like the
honestly.
ranch.
I'm a spicy guy.
You're a spicy guy. You are spicy.
I'm a spicy little Latin king, you know?
I got the little part right. Let's hop into it. Map or round number 2. I am shook at that they lost that round 1 after fighting as hard as they did. Your team is looking way much better than it ever had a chance to look. And I'm really regretting trash talking as hard as I did and laughing during the pick, because I think that only pissed them off more. And I think if I would have kept it low key, I think they wouldn't have been trying as hard as they are. Fiercely opens up with a couple, or at least one elimination, or make that 2, excuse me. Toady in some nice Boltok shots, and oh my, double headshot?
I'll give him that credit, having the wherewithal and the awareness, knowing to back up and spawn and gain the additional angle instead of trying to clean up the damage. But here goes Monkeys trying to make moves. He's trying to stall for time. Give our guys enough time to come off of respawn and take the advantage towards our own hill and try to keep this round alive.
2 hills going in the way of Team Reflections. Play rate's going to get onto the neutral, so he'll stay there for the time being. He's going to have some company in the way of Toady, though, as well as Dyslexic.
Like that. Vexy's backing up. I like how he's not taking shots until then to try to gain as much health as possible before he makes this push. But again, he's just trying to go ahead and discombobulate and distract the players that you have on this side of the map. And you can see the spread that my team's trying to give. They're waiting for Vexy to come off of respawn. The longer we hold your team off, the better off we'll be.
All right, Fiercely pushing out. Fiercely's unfortunately down. I don't think he was ready for 2, at least in that moment. Your team is threatening A super hard, and they're pushing from all the directions that it's hard for Team Reflections to lock in place, and made even harder with Cells just pulling up and going absolutely massive. We had an early lead, and that early lead is now going to be gone in probably about 20 seconds.
Yep. We did spot out Fiercely at first, but we don't know that he did cut back, waiting for the other respawn players there on that side of the map. But Exploit's trying to give that vital information, crossing onto Cells, giving the call out to Vexy's. They got to make short work. On the other side of the map, we have to stay alive. Big down by Exploits, but luckily for our spacing, he's not able to get that elimination.
Oh, but we recover with the 2-1. I spoke too soon. I know. He's going hard. Cells drops. He's picked back up. Dyslexic was stunned for a bit. And that actually saved Cells and Co, because Dyslexic would have pushed for sure. Fiercely on the flank. That's going to pay dividends. And player 1's about to get absolutely bodied.
Oh, nice. Stop. Don't go down.
No way!
Don't go down and die. Okay, the reinforcements are there. Still a 2v1 situation. Bronny trying to stay alive. Big down from Bronny. Gets the elimination at the very minimum before going down himself. And you can see the spread. That's going to be a Vexy's trying to at least get the decap here. Fiercely's not going to let him get the capture. I know that much, especially with more reinforcements on the way. But you can see the extend on the other side of the map from Cells. We got to be able to be careful as we get taken down. Now we have to go into desperation mode because we can't make a 4-man push anymore.
No, but You can definitely get the objective back. I mean, Cells is so cracked out of his mind. Like,
Capture the hill.
come on. Oh my gosh. Did we do it? 2-1. Player 2 backing away. 3 and 4 off the respawn. And the win condition stays with us, Jacob.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The battle's still going. It's up to it's up to Avexes. The captain has to make a move. If Avexes doesn't get the decap, it might be over. No, that's it. Either way. Oh, the other side of the map's won. I'll give it to you. I don't
have to, baby. You're gonna have to. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. That is ridiculously long for even a Vaskar round, dude. We are 1-1, and we already have nearly 3 people with 10k damage, Jacob.
Yep.
That is insane to me.
It comes through just the constant kind of aggressive moves when they know the mismatch is there from both of our squadrons. They're playing the numbers actually pretty well for the most part. You can see the retros being upgraded on both sides of the map. I would like to have seen us maybe keep that bull talk there a little bit longer for Vexes or honestly anybody on my roster, but I trust them. I trust the strategies that they have in mind.
Gotta trust them just like I gotta trust mine and believe in the boys, and let me hit them with some positivity. Hey guys, you got it, okay? You know what you need to do. Don't take any crap from these guys. We're the most confident team out there. I believe in you, okay? I'm sure they heard that. Big push from your team, though. Brawny and Cells, they're pushing up, and it'll be a 1v3, and Dyslex is going to be by himself. He sees the 1v2, I think, a little bit too late, and it was a little bit too late because Toady did rotate out. Luckily, the retro was there. That absolutely helped Jacob, but Toady's going to have to pull out the Nasher and try and make something. Your team is scarily close to actually getting a domination, depending on how the A fight goes.
Yeah, you can see one going down, the back-to-back downs going through, but they realized that Dyslexic was quickly off of respawn, so they tried to take the 2v2 instead of letting that third person make it into a 2v3, but you see the rotations coming from all around. That's Monkeys who gets the down over the top onto Dyslexic. Still 2 more players in front of him, but you can see the rotation of Vexes is starting to try to dethrone that home hill of Team Reflections.
Oh, mono down of Vexes. He's going to stay put where he's at. Retro has a ton of value. And you said, come on, Salesman. Cells pushing hard. Cells is down. This is probably the most dominant round that my team has had so far. And I'm curious if they're going to fully commit for the domination. A couple of double downs in the middle, and all of a sudden your team stands up. Jacob, they're putting in the work, baby. They're putting in 2 down, 3 now up. Ain't no way we're going for a domination.
Yeah, it's the constant revives that we're getting off in the middle towards the hill. Toady gets some reinforcements just in the nick of time, but a double decap. No one can die in this situation. This is an important moment for both of our squads. Whoever comes out on top here could be the possible victor of the round.
Could be. Absolutely could be. Avexis pushing in. Full steam ahead. He'll fall. And that opens up an opportunity to get onto C. Player 6, Mono, is just hanging out, chilling for just a little bit. Honestly, for Team oh, yeah. Yeah, Mono's. Toady's got to clear this. Toady knows. Oh, Toady knows something's up, but he takes too much damage. He misses the shot onto Mono, but he backs away. He stays alive.
Nice dodging of the flash. The spacing is there. Great elimination. He's going to get the decap on the other side. That's put pressure on his cells. The down is in. The down is in. Exploits gets it onto 1. That puts a pressure on both of those solo players, but Monkeys is having the team-oriented play in mind. They want to get that elimination on Exploits, get their home hill back, and then use the number advantage that they gain from this elimination to hopefully solidify the round.
We're on all 3 hills minus your home hill. And at this point, for Team Reflections, they're going to be knocking on the door of another victory to lead 2-1. Heading into the last round of the first half, just 20 seconds to hold on. And well, oh no, shot Team PR wins the 1v1 against Dyslexic. Player 7 Cells gets on the neutral. You're also fighting for the A hill.
I'm like Fonzie out here. You better watch out. I don't know how much damage your desk can take. I don't know if it's from IKEA. I don't know if it's hand built by you. But A is all I got to say. Team PR saving the day. Let's go. I'm excited. It's a good day.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I think so. So far, at least. Good afternoon. Let's say that.
Yeah.
John, you can honestly hear the sadness after that round. I feel bad now.
Bro, I mean, we were like 10 seconds away from winning that.
I don't really feel bad. Y'all just got clutched up on. I got you again.
All right. This is cool. It's really no big deal. It's no sweat off my brow. Look, it's 1-2. Last round of the first half. And we're out here. Positive vibes only.
Let me ask you a question,
no negativity here.
Do you think it's strange that no big weapon is going down? Or do you think, we're kind of going blow for blow so nobody's brave enough to put it down?
You know that. Yeah, you know that, brother. Like, the rounds have been so close. You don't want to change anything up. And honestly, with the way your team is slaying out, I wouldn't want Noble, or should be Team Reflections, to place a power weapon and force a team fight. I don't think that would be a smart decision. Your team is slaying out, and it's Cells who's leading the charge. Like, Cells is...
Okay, be careful, though. They're going to get the decap. Hello?
Okay. Hello?
No, come on.
Oh, please, dude. Yes, your team is human as well. No,
okay.
Bro, you don't...
Human?
Saw him just in, he saw him just in the nick of time, bro. Just in the nick of time.
Tom Cruise and the crew of Top Gun. They might be human, but they're the best of the best.
Okay, Team Reflections. I can't even say they get the 2-1 because they don't. Dyslexic is having a rough game, man. That's going to be a good kill. Toady pushing up. Yep, Toady is ready. Bronny's on the run. Bronny is fighting back. I kind of didn't like it in the moment, but now that he drops, I'm okay with it. And this is a big win for Team Reflections. Like, they need this 2v2 win. Oh, and then Exploits is already down. Fierce is going for the revive. The Bolt Talk is hurting. Oh, but the heroic return of player 3. Toady runs into the mix, and Fiercely's also down. And we have a chance, right?
No chance. No chance is what you got because El Capitan himself, Avexes, with the game-saving double kill play right there, reviving Monkeys, letting him get the triple. Dyslexic by himself. You can see the triple cap domination sounding off for a few short moments, but we just want to bait Fiercely in, bait Toady in, put out a lot of damage because we're going to accumulate that points with that 2 hills to 1.
I talk too much trash, man. Now it's starting to hurt.
See, we weren't teabagging. We're good sports over here.
Yeah, well, you wait till Cells pops off again. You'll see. You'll see the real. You'll see the truth. You'll see the truth. Domination. Guys, get that touch. There it is. On to B. We need
triple neutralization.
A triple neutralization or a domination. That's it. That's the only options we have at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's I was trying to make up something there, but with Toady grabbing that retro, I think if Toady goes down here, or if any of your guys get eliminated without getting elimination right back to us, it's going to be over. You see that 3 players sneaking in, Toady going right through the middle, Exploit's going to get dropped first, so that neutral is going to trade hands, so you guys got to be like a bus full of gas and keep it going.
A bus full of gas. Imagine you're playing football back in like Pee Wee League or something. Your coach like, you need to be a bus full of gas on this play. I don't know how well that would work. Cells is just hurting my team so much, and it's really crushing my spirit at this point in time. Toady sprinting to B. This is a big neutral. Player 4 Dyslexic has to go big. So does Toady. Oh my God.
Okay.
Toady does it. Where? Someone else. No. Please. Oof. Someone else.
Oof. Let me wipe the sweat off my brow real quick because that was a little too scary. I wanted to see Monkeys go across and decap the other hill and try to kind of keep the numbers on it, but I actually do like that play a little bit better because as I say that, you had a couple players off for respawn that would allow a free decap for Toady on the other side of the map and still Monkeys to get contested, but hey, that's why I picked Monkeys because he knows best right there.
Monkeys knows best. Cells is incredible. Your roster is just slay heavy. That's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. Ensigns, not changing up the map just yet. That's fine. You know, we are now on a fresh half. We got the boys on the left ready to go. All right, we're ready to fight it out. Ready to make some magic happen. And it's going to be your roster. Looks like they're committing 4 strong to the transition to D to F.
Yeah, they want that death ball. They want to go home hill to home hill because if they can get that advantage on the home and before you guys can rotate on over, that'll give us a good point advantage to kind of start this game off. Great instant there towards the back lane to make him go ride, but you forgot you're going up against Monkeys, Mr. King Kong himself.
Yep, looking like King Kong. That's 3 down. Dyslexic last alive. Needs to win a 1v up on top of 4 Vexies. He's going to have to make a move shortly because, well, domination's going to be ticking through. He's now in a 1v2. Stuck down low, take a little bit of damage. He's going to get wrapped around. Cell swings it wide. That's a smart push from Cell. Smart play. I really do appreciate whether it's Blaze's team a little bit earlier or, of course, your roster, the way that they take fights, they're not overexposing themselves. They're also not ego challenging. Like, your team is genuinely playing smart.
Yep, and you hear the call out on the other side of the map. Monkey's letting them know they have one, and with one elimination, they know that's a 3v2, and that's why they're quickly taking advantage of the home. Monkeys didn't hear the cut back, the call. That's where that translation didn't come in time from his coach. He goes down with the 2 hills to 1. The early lead that I'm talking about is still intact. You see Toady trying to overextend. Eventually, he's going to run into Monkeys there, but the 3v3 going down for the home hill of Team Reflections is going to be the more important fight.
Yeah, that's going to be 1 down at least, but they're picked back up. I like this push potentially from Team Reflections. I mean, Bronny picks up 1. That's fine. We still make headway, and we get onto F. So 2 hills could be in our favor. I like this push from Toady. We're committing it for everything. Oh, it loses the fight. We're still all right. Objectively, we're going to be so... Oh, my goodness. How many players are we going to feed to Monkeys? He's 17 and 8.
And that means a free neutral hill on over. 2 of my guys. That's going to be Bronny and Avexi's leading the charge on that side of the map. Dyslexic shooting some shots that gives away his position, but they know it's only 1 player there for now. They're catching all these players coming off of respawn. They got that information. They're trying to act accordingly. Great split between Bronny and Avexi's. 1 to take the high ground, 1 to hold the position with the shotgun to try to deny all entry options.
All right. Let's make it or break it for Team Reflections. Team PR looking absolutely goated as they are on all 3 hills. For just a short time span, we still have a lot of work to do. F will stay decapped. That's actually a huge positive, Jacob. And now we can get back onto 2 hills. And Mono is just out of this world. And I'm starting to think, like, yeah, he has a translator, but Mono knows, like, he necessarily can't communicate really, like, fully, you know, to the full extent of the pro level, like, just because he speaks Spanish and the rest speak English. And I think that's just allowing him to just go into the flow state, right? Zen out and just play his game and, like, just literally focus on killing. And it's working.
Yeah. No, that's kind of really what is going on. You got his coach calling out what moves Monkeys is making, but those moves are being decided by Monkeys all himself. You see Bronny Avexi knows we need to get a decap onto at least one of these hills, and time is not on our side to make it happen. Monkeys goes down, Bronny falls, Avexi gets dropped. That's 3 players of my team down and out. And I feel like that just kind of seals the deal for this round.
Oh my gosh, dude. Every round has been more than 3 minutes. Like, every single round, Jacob. Like, it's just been grueling to watch. I mean, it really has been. It has just been so close. And man.
Among 23,000 damage, but look at
I know. I
20K
know.
each as well.
And, you know, Dyslexic dropped a 30K bomb a little bit earlier. Like, we're looking at the same story here with Mono. Maybe Fiercely, too.
He's fitting in right now because they're playing very, very aggressive. They're playing right into the meta. And the way my team is playing, you can see it like in the mini-map. Anytime they don't have hills, they're pushing and trying to use their advantage. When they do have hills, they're just gathering the information. They're constantly clicking that left stick to try to get the marks out.
All right, here we go. Fresh round, baby. Team Reflect. Oh. All right, we're good. No worries. Hey, Toadie's getting out of that spot as quickly as he possibly can, you know. He's going to be all right. We are on the battle for the tank. Ooh, already a down. Instant. Throwing him. I don't like that. I like that one from your team. Oh, we're pushing. Oh, Jacob, you're screwed, baby.
No, look at the move. We capture the neutral hill. We're sneaking in through the middle. We're drawing your numbers back. So the only way you're holding on to 2 hills is by winning this fight right here, which you guys do have a 3rd player rotating over as well. Hopefully we can read it and do something on the other side of the map. The first down is going to come through. Cells gets the trade. Monkeys gets dropped. But look at the amount of time we bought ourselves. We still have the neutral, and we're getting our home hill back.
Well, we're going to send player 3, Toady, over towards Z. That's going to be the game plan. We need to kind of bunker up because Team PR is pushing very aggressively through tank side. Fiercely, a little bit of a late exit. He drops, and he needed to get out of there way earlier than he attempted to do so. That's a bit of a misplay. We were a bit scared of the flank, but it's...
Like I said, they're constantly moving forward on their advantage, though. On Reflections, they started 1 on the other side. Monkeys and Cells, they know exactly what they have to do. Almost no communication needed. They get that advantage, and now they have a 2v2 right in front of them. And look at the other side of the map. There's 2 players here. They're going to see that as a green light to go.
All right, green light to go. Let's do it, baby. Bus full of gas. And well, I guess you're driving it because at this point you got the 2-1 maybe. But big battle for D. Vexy's nice shot. Bronny backs away just in the nick of time. Goes for the reach out. Vexy's looked like Superman until he dropped. Just every single member on your roster at some point or another looks like they just can't be messed with. Dyslexic 1v2, and I feel like your team has specifically bullied him since the start of this Vascar map.
It's not that, it's just he plays that 1v1 spot and he oftentimes ends up by himself. And like I said, our guys are just taking the advantage and they're pushing the advantage every time. They get a call out that it is going to be a free hill from Cells. He's going to get the decap and watch what he does after. He's immediately trying to go on the flank and keep the advantage intact. Fortunately enough,
right.
Not enough time to make it happen.
Not yet. Not enough time at the moment anyways. Fiercely, get onto E. Big moves being made from Team Reflections. Massive moves. I'm talking like no mames moves, okay? Exploits rotating around for exploits. Exploit surely drops here. No way. Or should be Monkeys drops. My apologies. And I like the fact that we're staying ahead of the game objectively. We're finally playing as a team. And I don't know why that was lacking before, but I genuinely feel like it's taking some time to get those old strats back into action.
Yeah, but it's just going to take one big fight. At least the 2 players going down. See Dyslexic trying to back up. You talk about taking advantage. It's going to be hard to do that with him grabbing that retro, and that's why your team probably trusts him on the other side of the map by himself. But with Fiercely going down, that opens up the potential for the break, but we need more than just that. We need that triple neutralization, so it's go time, boys.
It's go time, like you said. You got to get to it. You got to make it happen. And, well, they've already done one task. Well done up on the top side. And this fight looking a bit rough maybe for my boys. And, well, Bronny's hitting some nice shots. In fact, he refuses to... Oh, my gosh. Player 2. Player 2. Fiercely. No, Fiercely. Oh, please. Not again. Not again. Oh, but he's got one more. He's got one more. He's got to deal with the Vexies. Player 3 broke away to get over to F, but you got to get there quickly. Vexies, you have to. I mean, you got to take one for your team. Thank you. Oh, Vexies is my hero.
Yeah, no matter what happened there, though, I think Toady made that defining play. Free hill towards the back end. Now you guys are going to get double the points, almost triple. As Team Reflections does tie us up at 3 rounds apiece.
4-minute round.
And that's where I do get a little bit worried. Just a little bit, not too much, not too concerned, but where your team just chained together rounds. So they got to be feeling on a high right now of confidence, knowing that, hey, our rotations are working. Because that round was a real rotation-based game for you guys.
It was. It really was. And that comes to show you, like, our initials need to be strong. And you remember, that initial was super strong from Team Reflections. They pushed through tank. But, I mean, one thing where we lack is if we do lose the initial, like, your team, Jacob, without question, just holds on and refuses to give up. I mean, they know the objective game quite well, too. So... you got that in your corner without question. I don't think we saw any power weapons, and it's just going to be, you know, strict retros and instants as well. So being on this side, I think Team Reflections has definitely had a bit more of a struggle on this side. If they can somehow win this round, I think they're going to be all right.
Good retros, ensigns. I see shock nades on the map as well as Fiercely puts himself in the middle, but rightfully so is able to take down Cells with a couple of help. But it's a 4-man push from your team. We didn't see that one coming, so we're gonna have to give up our hill. We have no other choice.
All right, so we hold on to what we got. And for 6 and 8, Jacob, they're going to just pause a little bit, stay on the side that they are on, and maybe wait for their teammates to be off the respawn. Not necessarily because they can join them, but just so maybe they can pincer in. But that is nice. That is a huge down, and he won't get the second, but the confidence is slowly building up. A flank from Dyslexic. One player is going to drop. Monkey's forced to back away. And that's the last down and out. I love the Wolfpack. That is the noble special, that Wolfpack we just witnessed.
Yeah, I will say that that's what your team kind of did best when they were that real roster. That's what the Pioneers do, and a lot of our elite rosters, they make things happen as a 4-man unit around the map. After they get the kills, the dust settles, that's when they begin to disperse. And Cells, Bronny stuck in a hard spot here. 3v2, retro on one side, shotguns on the other. Their options are being closed, but right on open they go as Toady, he gets taken down, but the trade is there as Vexies gets dropped. Nice shots by Bronny to go back to back, and they're going to possess that additional angle thanks to Monkey. So 2 hills back on over to us.
Oh, maybe. Hold up.
I just spoke too soon.
Yeah. Hey, domination, maybe. Dyslexic. Dyslexic's been getting bullied the whole game, and your team has done a really good job putting him in a 1v2.
Let me say
this
that.
time huh?
I said, let me say that. You gotta be positive for Dyslexic.
No, I am. He's a great player. No, I don't mean that in any negative connotation at all. I want to make that very clear. I love my roster. I love my team. But Dyslexic, I mean, even when he's on E United, like, he gets bullied because he's usually in like 1v2s. He's a fantastic player, but he's put in a spot that almost makes it impossible to like be that standout stat leader player.
Ronnie, he has to be careful, though. He's becoming the focus of the attack here. Mana goes down right behind him. That's Monkey's revives are still going to be in as he tries to even it up. He gets one onto Exploit before Bronny gets taken down, but Dyslexic gets number 2 underneath his belt, or at least trying to go for the neutral. But you see that 3-man swarm. Cells does have his hands full.
Yep. Cog team wins in just about 40 seconds. Like you said, Cells, hands full, 1v3. He does have help from the low side. Oh, swings it a bit wide, thinking maybe he was going to get over on Toady and Co, but he ends up finding Dyslexic on the opposite side. Still, though, your roster finding a way to keep the home hill competitive fiercely. He's got to help Toady out. Toady's down. And Fiercely will get the pickup. Mono will go in for the cleanup. He'll actually get it. We recover the 2-1, and well, we will recover the round. And by the grace of God, we are up 4-3. You love to see it.
It was great switch up. I'll give you guys that. When you guys kind of stole our strategies, stole our style of play, the 4-man everywhere to try to get the early eliminations. As soon as you guys did that,
how does a full roster still a pickup team strategy?
So you admit you're a full roster. At least I got you to admit it.
Brother, of course. I mean, I'm the noble. I never doubted that. Never once doubted that, Jacob. I picked what I picked for a reason, baby. I picked my favorite team, Last Dance, and the dance doesn't end with this series.
Your favorite team is anyone that has Chavi on it, so I already caught you in that line.
Oh my gosh,
maybe a second favorite team, but definitely not
Chavi, if you're watching, I sincerely love you, brother. I really do. I don't know why this joke has lasted that long. I don't know.
You talk about him like he's up here performing right now, and I don't think he's been given the right opportunities, rightfully so, because I think he can follow in the route of someone like Dyslexic.
I think he could, man, but hey, Bronny, he's his own man. Oh, Exploits though. And see, Exploits is a beefcake, right? He can make moves that no other man can make, right? Bronny looks good. He might be 6'7", football player of the past, like break a controller in half with his bare hands. But Exploits, that's a man's man.
We can do off a respawn. Not going to be much time for us to do it. Monkeys is under siege on the other side of the map. And instead of trying to protect and go after our home hill, we're actually trying to go the other way. A shock grenade, unable to do much. Monkey still goes down. That puts Vexies and Bronny both in bad spots. This is looking dangerous. This is looking like it'd be a Team Reflections win.
It might be. Hey, Jacob, listen, I never doubted my roster for 1 second. 5-3 victory. That's what you love to see. There's like almost 1 million channel points on this match, and chat, I'm not gonna let you down.
I did say that the only way you could win is by winning this map, right? Yeah. I still have my team winning Ritual. I still have my team winning Checkout, map number 5. But gosh, dang, do you see that? 31 from Fiercely? Yeah. 31?
I know.
That's why.
I know.
That's why.
Isn't he spectacular? Man. Oh, that's just too much of a focus on my face. It's kind of weird, actually, the more that I see it. But we're here, and I like it, and but I don't. I kind of don't. Hey, it's cool. We're up 2-1. Jacob, what are you gonna do, man? I know you're feeling the pressure. You're feeling the heat, and it's okay. You said you're spicy, so
this is still going in my kind of predictions. Like I said, Ritual, CQC, you know how my team is already performing. You got Toady, who maybe has his Lancer out a little too long. You got Exploits, maybe having his Lancer out a little too long. You said Dyslexic was getting bullied. Your words, not mine.
Yeah.
When we go over back to the CQC, that kind of gives us a recipe of the possibility. Like I said, potential for map number 5 is real.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, no BS. Like, the CQC fights, you guys dominate those. Like, I'm not even... Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, you guys have been on fire with the CQCs. Like, Bronny, Monkey, Cells, the Vexies. That's a lot of stats going their way in terms of just firepower. It's literally unreal to watch how quickly they slay out The reality is, we won that map based off of teamwork. Like, that's what it was. When they started wolfpacking together, they stopped playing as individuals, and they started playing like that Noble or that Fire and Ice of old. That's why we won that. I'm convinced, like, I'm genuinely convinced that if I had any other pickup roster, like a legit pickup team, you know, kind of like the other three, which it's been exhilarating to watch, like, I wouldn't beat you. I sincerely feel that way.
No, I 100% agree. Your team is stacked up to be a team. You guys are not beating us in man-to-man. You're not beating us straight up slaying. You guys are going to have to outwork us. So I'll give you credit for drafting the roster that you did, but I'm going to give my team credit to hopefully picking those maps and the picks and bans all together to give us that tail end of the cycle, the second half team, because even though we are down 2-1, at least we built that kind of thought in our head of like, hey guys, we can do this. Anything is definitely possible, especially now that we're playing in our wheelhouse.
And I wish we would have won that round 11 on Canals, Jacob. I mean, this could have been over with, done, dusted. Let's move forward to play against Blaze and, you know, grand finals. But that's not the reality, and you're right. You do have all the confidence in the world, and you should, and your team should. I mean, winning Canals wasn't easy. Putting up a fight like they did on Vaskar, this was probably one of the longest Vaskars I have casted in a long time. Every round was over 3 minutes. That's spectacular. You do not see that. Your team has the ability to outmuscle my roster. That's just how it is. Again, you can absolutely slay with the best of them, Jacob, but you liked Ritual Control, right? You said this was going to be a great map for your team. Let's break that down a little bit more. Why do you have so much faith in your team moving on to Ritual?
Because my team just, not even my team, if you kind of rewind just a little bit, Ritual is just one of those maps in general that plays very, very aggressive, especially towards the Torque Bow right off the initial with 3 players from each team kind of going on that side of the map. A possibility of a 4th as well, depending on what strategy you want to do. But I do believe my roster is going to allow Monkeys to really press the tempo right out of the gate and really force players to deal with him, which would alleviate pressure on that side of the map. And if we win one initial, we're going to be able to spread out. We're going to be able to kind of take the majority of that time because your team, I do believe, is kind of be slow out of the gates. Like I said, they're going to have to use all the teamwork in the world to overpower us.
Well, you remember how the first initial went on District, Jacob. Like, that was an explosive start from your roster. 4-man wipe, literally got everything you wanted. And in this case, by the way, Jacob, like in this exact case, you have a roster that, you know, explosive starts. If they do win, they get their early points, but more importantly, the Torque Bow, which is going to be so influential. I mean, who picks it up? It's really a coin flip. You have all 4 guys who can use that Torque Bow to the fullest extent.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see a Vexies or Cells with it. Let Monkeys kind of play around with this Lancer and the Nasher, like I said, one side of the map. Let Bronny kind of be that role player for the squad, even though he is a Slayer in his mind. And then maybe Cells. Maybe just give it to a Vexies or Bronny, as I say that, because Cells was, man, he was wiping up. Him and a Vexies combined for like 25 on that canal. So maybe let Cells be front spawn, a Vexies and Bronny back him up, and then Monkeys right in the middle.
Bro, Cells is out of this world. Like, I can't believe how good he's playing. And also Monkeys. Like, Monkeys is unbelievable right now. Absolutely unreal.
Especially for the disadvantages that they're playing in. But maybe that is a little bit of a boost of confidence because that's a little bit of pressure. And, you know, Monkeys does kind of thrive in pressure of, hey, in these 1v1s, they're going to be more important than usual because he doesn't really know in that moment. Obviously, the translations are coming in, but in that moment, he doesn't necessarily know, are they winning the fight? Are they losing the fight? What are they doing over there? So he knows that he has to play as close to perfect as possible.
Yeah, definitely has to. And I think your team has genuinely played as close to perfect as possible. Again, my team had to work hard. They had to work really hard as a team, but that's okay. A W is a W, no matter which way you look at it. And Map 4 is going to be tense without question. You know, Map 1 ended 302-37. I mean, that's pretty close. You know, relatively close per se. Your team was making great strides to come back. I do think my roster can absolutely benefit from early rotations. I say that on multiple maps. District is a bit more CQC sided, a bit more CQC heavy, especially with some of the hills being as close as they are. Ritual is a bit more open, and I think that does accentuate the fact that, you know, Team Reflections is going to have the ability to be able to lance around and lock in the lanes. But again, I go back to the point that I made early on. When it comes to Ritual, this is a map that, you know, Noble doesn't have, or Team Reflections doesn't have strats on. When they were playing as Noble and Fire and Ice, Ritual was not into competitive rotation. So this is going to be fresh for all 4 of these players playing on this map together anyways.
No, it definitely is. Like I said, though, that's going to be our biggest advantage. And my one concern for my roster is they cannot play with desperation in mind, because you even saw in that first control, we were kind of going blow for blow. It was close throughout the majority of the game. But as soon as we started to play a little separate, we started to play with that hero mentality, trying to save instead of calling the plays dead. That's when you guys started to stretch that lead and build yourself more of that cushion.
Yeah.
So I want to see my team play like they can come back at any moment. They could win any one of these team fights and not force these hero plays out of themselves.
Well, I mean, the hero plays have been there, though. And honestly, Jacob, like, those hero plays aren't bad to watch. And, you know, you definitely want to limit those. You can't base the whole winning strategy off of heroic plays, 1v2s, 1v3s, you know, so on and so forth. But no, like, those plays have genuinely been impactful, and they have hurt the roster of Team Reflection. So we head into map 4, Ritual Control. I know chat is sweating at this point, and those who backed up Team PR are happy. They're gritted ear to ear. Despite them being down 2-1, you still have unwavering faith that your roster can send it to a map 5. And Jacob, I hope they don't, but you know what? It wouldn't surprise me.
It definitely wouldn't surprise me at all. Like I said, right out of the gates, I don't think Vexy's going to be front spawn. It's either going to be Bronny or Cells. I would like it for it to be Cells. Let Bronny be that secondary person there. Let Vexy's decide where to throw his flash. Is he going to Lancer, pistol, or kind of follow up on a lot of that damage with the shotgun? And the reason why you want that core 3 as well, that's going to be for those quick call-outs for one another. And let Monkeys play in towards the middle. That way, if a flank is coming in, even though you want that call-out as quick as possible, because of it playing in the middle and the time to travel, things like that, I still think the call-out is going to come in time.
All right, well, if it does, look, we're hopefully going to be loading in relatively soon, and I think there was just a little bit of an issue, which perfectly fine. We'll get there, baby. We're going to get there, Jacob. I got to say, man, it's been a great cast. Great working with you again, obviously, and nice to see that your roster is just really pulling up and doing as well as they are. I mean, you know, there's always... And I want to make this clear, like, it is as interesting as it sounds, like, I want my team to win. I really do. But I wouldn't be, like, too hurt, because, you know, this is all for fun. Like, I wouldn't be too hurt if your roster wins as well, and only for the reason that imagine if your team actually won the All-Star draft.
I don't have
like,
to, man.
or one,
see my predictions. Go look in the chat.
I saw him. Hey, baby, I saw him. You know what I'm saying? But everybody doubted you, and the fact that you would win, like, that would just be unreal. But let's tone it back a little bit. First initial underway. This is where you should be the strongest, and the pressure is real. Dyslexic getting it down onto Cells, and Bronny looking to make a move, but Exploit's keeping him in check.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm surprised to see Bronny playing in towards the middle. He is going to be that free-flowing player. Monkey's joining the fray along with Cells. Early points going on over to Team Reflections, but you know, we have an answer for it. It's just going to take us a little second.
All right, and first points going to Team Reflections, like you said, and that is such a good team wipe. Like, I mean, seriously, a great team wipe, and even better that Exploits. Who was I questioning? Who's going to get the torque? But, like, come on, it's going to be Exploits and Team PR. I hope you're ready for it.
30 seconds left on the clock. Not going to be a lot of time to work with, but Monkeys knows he at least has to be that anchor on the other side of the map. But Dyslexic's playing a very, very sneaky goose. Gets a flank on the Monkeys. A lot of that early damage coming in. Cells gets one on the Toady, but you guys have solidified the next hill at the very minimum.
And we at least have that so far, and we can set up for sure. An Exploit trying to stay up as long as he can. Only one more shot remains, and he'll go ahead and take a look over at Cells. And goes going to be on opposite end. I believe this is the fight for nades, if I'm not mistaken. Toady on the hunt, so go ahead and back away for the time being and join the rest of his teammates. And your team having a little bit of struggle, at least from the top end of things. Bronny and Monkeys are, at least I assume, they're going to be the guys who have to make a push. But question is, Jacob, how long do you wait? I guess with player 1 joining, they don't have to wait that long. Yeah,
you want to wait. You want to give a couple of seconds up for the greater good, and you see Cells getting marked out, so that's going to split the defense. Exploits is going to be the guy that we're looking at the very minimum. We may not know where he's at, but we know he has the torque bow, so we're going to be looking to watch out for him. Oh, wow.
Nice shot from Fiercely. Oh, easy shot from Exploits. You don't sit there that long, especially with Exploits having a torque on you. Now, still Hill not won despite some fantastic eliminations. Exploits get you another down, and Team Reflections, I gotta say, I'm happy to see this. They are leading tremendously, and they have played almost, down near flawless.
Yeah, I got to imagine Toady really leading the troops. They're going back into that noble form, and it kind of took them 3 maps, 3 scary close maps, but it does look like things are beginning to flow well together. Nice down from Vexi's on the flank. They're trying to stagger the deaths and give ourselves an advantage to work with, and Sales keeps that one going. Great shutdowns on both sides of the map, to be honest, but you see that quick mark coming out from Monkeys, letting the team know as you guys rotate, Fiercely is someone to watch out for.
Absolutely. Cells getting the fresh torque bow. That's going to be encouraging, but can he get away? Luckily, Avexis is going to help. And if I'm Cells, I take the torque bow out. I put it on the ground, but I guess not necessary. Fiercely in a bit of trouble. It's going to end up dropping as your team is going to be set up for the next hill. This is one to definitely lock in place. And with Cells having a fresh torque bow, Team Reflection's going to have to work super hard to break it.
It just makes me question when are the frags going to be coming up, if any? Because that's going to be a huge tool. It's actually already picked up. Just trying to look, does anybody have them on either one of our rosters? Yes, it is going to be Monkeys. My guys have both torque bow. We have frag grenades. You guys just need to kind of bait them out. That's going to be your key for trying to break this hill. But other than that, it's going to be hard fought.
Oh, Cells, he wants it. Dyslexic keeping his head down. Splash damage isn't going to be enough. But only the members looking quite thin for Team Reflections. They can't really confidently make the push. Cells is pushing up. He'll back away. I think he was just trying to clear the corner maybe, but at the end of the day, he wants to be in this long alleyway.
Incoming smoke!
And a good shot here will stop my team in its tracks, and there it is.
Coming through from Dyslexic, though, he is going to be spotted out. He goes down, but a trading down from both these teams. But a double kill from Cells yet again from Torque Boat and Asher, proving why he deserves to be an all-star on Team PR.
All right, so all-star looking good. Your team coming back. That lead from Team Reflections early on, well, it's not really a lead anymore, is it? It's 88-70. Maybe I'll just think it's 69. We'll round it out. And nice nade from Mono. Thank you for helping my roster. And Team Reflections will get the break, but only for the scrap time. They got to focus on next, Jacob.
Yeah, you guys get the position on the actual hill, but we get an opportunity to try to break through with a little man advantage. But Toady getting spotted out in the middle. We're trying to extend that little advantage into even more. He gets chopped down, but you guys get respawned. So it's still a 4v3 with your guys continuing to get staggered.
Mono getting the fresh torque bow. That's now 2 torque bows to the 1 of Team Reflections, and your roster is heating up, brother, and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous, but it's still very early goings in this map specifically, and I love that Mono sets up early on to get a nice angle onto Toady or Dyslexic. This is a guy you don't want to play around with too much, and I know for sure he's going to at least connect 1 out of 3.
Yeah, just got to taper all expectations here in this match because we still have about 5 seconds to go before we can even try to take the lead. But the shots over the top, splash damage, Monkeys, and I do believe that's Dyslexic both weak, but the frag grenade is going to clean up all that damage. On the other side of the map, Brawny calling out, I got him 1v1, I got him 1v1, and you see the help being extended by Cells because that's the next hill, even though there's 40 seconds left, so you can't let Team Reflections feel comfortable. Ooh, nice.
I can't make them at all, man, because when we feel comfortable, brother, we just cruise to victory. But yeah, I don't think we're comfortable now. 100-94. You're screaming, yes, I can't blame you. We have slowed down to a snail's pace, and I'm, like I said, a bit concerned. Monkeys, 9-4-3, 8,700 damage done, 6 objective kills. That's the most important factor, right? He's been in the hills, and he's been getting the kills.
Nice shut down there, even forcing that team kill out the downs. A perfect stop, nearly, but Dyslexic able to shut down Monkey, stops it from being perfect, but we're going to go ahead and stagger him out. It may be a few seconds, Reflections, but that's a few seconds that we do have the man advantage with everybody trying to rotate and protect this 3v3.
We're pushing in hard, though. It's going to be Team Reflections on the top end of things to make an impact. Maybe penetrate the hill. Brawny, though, a beautiful shot up close on the Fiercely. He's going to drop him. He'll be back on his feet thanks to the help of Toady. And 64 seconds, fresh hill for Team Reflections. Getting this break early on would be massive, but your team refusing to back down. And I think Monkeys, once he recovers his health, is going to make a pretty convincing push.
I love how he didn't get greedy right there, but the flank comes in. The flank comes in. I don't know if he got the call out with the Vexi's going down. Brawny gets shut as well. That's a big double kill from Exploits. A great shutdown from your team overall because we were beginning to run away with that one.
You definitely were, man. And We'll probably get about, what, 20, 30 seconds, so we won't catch up to you just yet, but we do have at least a win under our belt. We haven't had one of those in quite some time because your roster have just been absolutely tearing it up, without question. I like to see Fiercely control this Torque Bow a little bit more, and no connections. That's unfortunate because he had it into his 4 and he still doesn't get any shots to connect, and he loses his life. Fiercely. That can't happen.
It almost looked like the only connection he might have got was splash damage onto his own team there. But you see the marks coming out. The constant spread of information for my team. They know how vital it is into their keys to victory. Spread that information in. Minimize the call-outs and the need for communication by giving that information with things that go unsaid, but the cross is out. Exploit's in a good spot to try to shut down anything that we have on the defensive end, but with no downs or trades going from either team so far. But it's going to be Fiercely who opens up that window of opportunity. Shut down from Avexis. Cells gets dropped. Brawny soon to follow. And this is the moment that you guys need to put a stop to the momentum that we're constantly able to build.
So let's see what they can do. Team Reflections holding on tight to what they got, but your team not far in the shadows. They're going to continue to push up, pressure up. Brawny's by himself. I hope he waits for Cells before he makes a definitive push, especially when you're moving into a 1v, potentially 4 situation. They're just going to try and Lancer out as much as they can, but there is a good breakout. Brawny does push forward. I mean, it is convincing the impact he has, and he picks up at least 2 before dropping down. Luckily for Team Reflections, Fiercely has a steady shot. I'm actually astounded after that those first series of kills from Brawny that my team still has control of the hill.
Oh, that was a nice pick. That was a nice pick, though, from Cells onto Toady across the map. They realize they're going to give up this trash time because even if you guys do take the lead, we're going to be able to get it right back for the next hill. You guys are at least giving yourself that 20-second cushion, but more eliminations falling our way. Avexis trying to break out. He hears the call from the side, but Avexis might have made a grave mistake. He lets one live, and that's going to cost him his life.
Woo, all right, so Team PR, you got a nice lead. You're at least holding on to it. That's the important thing, right? You take some stumbles, but you hold on tight. Monkeys with the fresh torque. Only Simplane, not going to matter. We're going back to P1 where Team Reflections took a decent lead. Luckily, dives out of the way. Monkey still hasn't hit a shot, but Brawny's hitting his, and that's all that matters. Exploit's going to be forced to reposition. The Snupfire should drop him, but no, he stands his ground. Fiercely tries to make a bit of an impact. Not going to be enough, and again, miraculously, my team is in control of the hill, but for how long? Not long at all.
Bro, that pistol, it literally seems like they're speaking to each other in tongues. Forget English, forget Spanish. Monkeys have that guy full red, and without hesitation, Brawny was able to clean that elimination up because the longer that player stayed alive, the more threat it would have been to Monkeys and this whole setup that we have going on. Frag grenades to try to make him toss and turn, splash damage to take down Toady. And you can see we're watching the flank. Nothing is going to be able to sneak past us.
I mean, shoot, at this point in time, brother, like, you guys have been solid and the lead continues to grow. I do not want to go to checkout execution versus your roster. I mean, seriously, I don't. So this needs to be a must-win from Team Reflections, and it has to happen. We need to come back if we want to win this series. Toady, oh, this is such a good push from Avexis. He reads it correctly. Brawny's on the hunt. Brawny is on the hunt, man. 10 kills to his name, and Team PR, call your boys up, tell them, chill out for a little bit, please. Give us a chance.
No chances given.
Bro, give us a chance.
Monkeys gets 2, but he's even under siege.
Make the call, Jacob.
Oh, the flank is coming in. This is the chance right now. That's why we're quick to strike. Brawny is going to be on one side of the map. You got Avexis on the other. He gets shut down, but the damage has been done onto Fiercely. The hill is now under siege. We at least have 10 toes down. The revive is in, but that's not going to be enough. Brawny still gets shut down. Cells sees 3 players in front of him, but he doesn't see the one behind, and that's going to be the one that he has to worry about almost the most, because look how deep Toady is putting himself in towards spawn. He's going to be that anchor, but it's going to be the Torque Bow. Avexis versus Toady here. That is going to be the defining factor for the 60 seconds.
I hate that your roster is getting the Torque Bow as much as they are. Like, Exploit's is so valuable with it. Like, he needs to fight for it. Hell, even Fiercely, we saw what he could do on Canals. A valiant effort, a good push from Fiercely wasn't enough. And now your team can close the gap and continue to push up. And the Torque Bow making all the difference in the world. And I really thought there was going to be more of a fight, but your team just kind of walked right in.
Yeah, we're at least blocking the spawn on this side of the map. We know it's coming in on the other side of the map. 40 seconds up for grabs. Avexis trying to rotate that Torque Bow over as quick as can be. The marks are in. No splash damage. That goes too far past. Back against the wall. The second one in. No splash damage yet again, but we get it down on Dyslexic in towards the middle. We're just trying to keep these players at bay, so that way we can take the advantage elsewhere on the map.
All right, you're about to be, what, 30 points away from victory. Jacob, I can't believe it, but we might be going to a map 5 despite all odds. And Avexi's cool, calm, and collect, and he'll die. And that's going to be a nice kill from Exploits. Can we get another, baby? I know you can. Send it home. He won't, but that's all right, because I believe we are going to be on the next hill, or at least Toady is going to be there. And this is one of those money hills, 192-267. You haven't won just yet, Jacob. I know you're not getting too cocky, you're not getting arrogant, but Team Reflections, if we are successful on this hill, we got it.
Oh, but Fiercely, it all starts with Fiercely. Cross towards the backside. And the way we got that elimination, we're still wolf packing around. Exploits could definitely be a thorn in their side, but we spotted him out. We're making sure to keep our eyes peeled. We know this is the chance that we have to close this map out, force a map number 5. We set ourselves onto the hill, but Toady with a big shutdown. Toady with a big shutdown. He gets 2, but the revives are in from Brawny. We have to be able to clean up these eliminations. 2v2 coming out. Great shots from Brawny. Avexi's making it a 3v2. We shut down 2 more members. Team PR, we can close it out with great moves right here, right now.
Dyslexic, though, he's hiding in the shadows. Oh, for such a short period of time, and sells. He'll kill his own teammate, but still takes down one of Team Reflections. Toady's back in the fight after a heroic effort just a little bit before. Exploits also here. I am astounded this fight is still underway. Even more astounded Team Reflections actually has control, but I mean, it doesn't mean Team PR is that far away either. Down the hallway we go. Good team fire, boys. That's what we need. What we don't need, monkeys popping off, and neither do we need cells doing it. I cannot believe how much of a slugfest that was for like the last 30 seconds.
We'll say I'm starting to get a little bit worried here, because this is where an inexperienced team or pickup team like we're seeing has only 22 seconds to go. They can get a little too antsy, but we're continuing to try to play in our advantages. You guys do have frag grenades. We know it. We got to watch out for it. Dyslexic's going to go down. Frag grenades are out a little too deep, and Brawny keeps it going forward, trying to dodge that frag, but big eliminations. Avexi's Brawny fall. That second frag grenade out of play thanks to Monkeys. Almost gets 2 as Fiercely. He gets saved as Cells. He gets spotted out. No sneaky moves for him, but it's about contesting, buying time for our roster, which isn't going to be much.
Oh man, 243 to 278. We're in control, and Team Reflections might actually be able to do this, but I'm not going to hold my breath given the fact that your team is just so dominant when it comes to the CQC fights. And, well, Fiercely, I like that kill onto Monkeys. He's pushing out. He's by himself, but he seems like the risk, well, it's worth the reward. Toady slides into Avexi's, and we might be overextending ourselves a bit too much at the moment. I don't know if I necessarily like this, and your team is quickly closing the gap, Jacob.
Oh, the cells go down. Toady's going to be able to clean that one up. Big thing is that you guys keep the trades rolling, but the score is all tied up. You guys have come back, but enough is enough. 1 elimination down, 30 seconds still winnable for either one of these rosters. So these eliminations mean so much, and if Avexi's get shut down, we have control of the hill. This is our chance. Brawny, you got to stay alive. Conserve your health. A trade between Dyslexic and Exploits. It's still going off between these two teams. Cells towards the back end, but at least we captured enough time to make it not winnable for you. You said it yourself, but you guys have Dyslexic on the other side of the map.
We do, but I mean, he's only one player, Jacob. We got to rotate, and Dyslexic winning this torque bow could very well mean the difference between a W or an L. We'll commit an extra player, and the man Fiercely, who I wanted to add the torque bow all along, will finally pick it up, and, well, 15 points away from victory. He hits the toe of Monkeys, and he'll send it onto the ground. The hill will tick over. We will officially take the point lead. Come on, boys, just 11 more.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's the final nail in the coffin. We don't get a chance to make a team push at the end, but at least we put up a good fight to give everybody at home hope as Vexies tries to get that final foot in. We do get shut down. Congratulations to Team Reflections, but at least we had you at the edge of our seat.
Bro, I seriously, man, when I mean this, I wanted to come into this to trash talk you and, like, you know, do what I did to Blaze and just overall, like, be that arrogant, cocky guy, you know, the personality, if you will, just for the whole Gears 5 All-Stars, like, personification, but I can't. Like, we get that victory, but my God, did you put up a fight, like a hellacious fight that no one was expecting, Jacob. I don't know what you did, what you said to them, but my Lord, that was not easy at all. And I was stressed the entire time. And I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, Jacob. That was anything but. I mean, my goodness.
I wouldn't say I was confident through and through, but as soon as Avexis told me to pick some bands that did roll out, I got a little confidence, right? Seeing map number 1, I started to build on that confidence. Round number 11 on Canals, it started to build even more. And on this map, we kind of had it, but I told you my only word, 22 seconds is all we needed. And it's inexperienced team or a pickup team, either one, it begins to get antsy. They feel like every play they have to end the game, which isn't going to be the case. They tried, they put up a good effort. But man, that Noble roster was just too strong at the end.
I broke strong, but I mean, again, pat on the back, brother. That was just an incredible fight. And dude, I mean that. Like, that comes from the heart. Like, you guys were absolutely lights out and incredible. Cells was just absolutely on fire. Monkeys was dropping insane numbers. Bronny, I love Bronny. You know that. I've loved him since the People's Champs. He was just making so many crazy plays. And Avexis, I mean, doing the absolute most to get this roster up to par with a team that, you know, second place, third place, like one of the most successful, if not the most successful Latin American team in Gears 5 history, at least when it comes to the online era. Just what a fight that was. I don't know how things are going to work in Grand Finals against Blaze, but I got to tell you what, you're playing against Colin next, Jacob, and Colin better be ready because his roster is about to go through hell just like I did.
After seeing match 1, after seeing match 2, I already know the placings of the day. So I don't know if you want me to spoil it because you're not going to like it.
Oh, no, please.
Congratulations to Team Blaze. Reflections get second. We're going to topple over Team Colin. And just like in the predictions, that's the placings that we're going to get.
Well, it's a good thing you're wrong, man. You had me going in the first half. I can't lie, okay, dude? But I will say this, bro. Hey, I really am worried about Blaze's team at this point. Hey, but fiercely exploits Toady Dyslexic. We did it, boys. We won. Well done. We move forward. And first place is within our grasp. We just got to hold on a little bit more, but look at that score. Look at the box score. Dude, it was just, that's just so crazy how close it was. We got Team Blaze versus Team Reflections in the All-Star Finals. Consolation match. Team Colin, Team PR. I don't know who's going to win it. I really don't, but PR, my Lord, what a performance that was, dude. Yeah, I mean, seriously, dude, that was
I will
crazy.
say one thing about both of the matchups that are left. They're not going to be close. They're not going to be close. Like, they're
just going to be blowouts either way.
Both matches are going to be blowouts. Team Blaze is going to beat you guys maybe 3-1. I think you guys are going to escape with one map, but I do believe we're going to 3-0 Team Colin. I think we're going to hurt them, honestly. I think we're going to hurt them so bad, they're going to plant the seed of doubt before the major.
Okay. That bad?
That bad. Like, you see the way Monkeys and Avexis are playing. The reason why I point out those two, because Cells is playing phenomenal along with Bronny as well. Because if you have Arch Nemesis playing well together, what does that say about everybody else?
Yeah. That's true, dude. If your roster, Arch Nemesis come together and they still find a way to be that competitive, like, that just shows the heart that they have. They're willing to put differences aside and compete. And you said that could make them stronger. And Jacob, I think it absolutely made them stronger. Look, GG's, hell of a job, brother. Your roster was absolutely incredible. You now have to go against Team Colin. I'm going to hop off the desk. Blaze is now going to take Colin's spot, so you guys get banter back and forth. I hope you bring your A game, because Blaze, he's on point with the trash talk, baby. Good luck, Jacob. Let's see how you faced off against Colin. That's coming up after the break.